Suck me up, cause I really don't care. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I'm gone. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I am gone. I feel so hollow, hollow inside, hollow inside. Promise me everything, promise me everything, but please don't lie. Disappointment echoes in my brain. Anyone would really go insane. Empty hands promised me everything. It gave me nothing in the end. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I'm gone. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I am gone. I feel so hollow, hollow inside, hollow inside. Promise me everything, promise me everything, but please don't lie. And I fall, I fall. Would you miss me at all? I feel so hollow, hollow inside, hollow inside. Promise me everything, promise me everything, but please don't lie.
Oh. There we go. There we go. Now we're ready, Freddy. It's Friday, man. Hell yeah, it's Friday. It's a game? Gameplay reveal? What is this? It's a furry game, I guess. What is this? That's pretty. 1 HP Studio. You know, this kind of looks kind of good. It's probably another Souls-like platformer. Ever since Hollow Knight kicked off, dude, they've been coming out of the woodworks with these.
남들의 방해로 일을 하다가 말아서 그 어떠한 것도 받지 못한다면 그만큼 억울한 것도 없습니다.
Illusion. What is this?
무지하고 미련한 자들이 주님의 뜻을 모르고 미워하고 핍박하는 것 때문에 여러분들이 못 견디고 믿고 따르다 말게 되면은 구원을 받지 못하게 됩니다.
That's awful. I hate that.
포기하지 않고 끝까지 견디는 것이 중요합니다.
The sacrament? Huh. What is this? I thought it was a Fallout 3 remake, but I guess maybe it's not? There's some kind of mysterious countdown.
Old games. Fallout fans think a Fallout 3 or New Vegas remake could be coming very soon. The most popular console games of 2025 are the same ones from 2024, and one of them is getting new content based on South Park. Let's get into it. While fans are enjoying it, it's kind of bittersweet considering how long it's been since we got a new Fallout game. But fans think a remake or remaster of one of the existing ones could be right around the corner. A website called Fallout Explorer went live to promote the show that's in the form of an interactive map. Clicking on different points of interest leads to terminals and 3D environments that'll let you view behind-the-scenes photos and videos and stuff like that. However, what's gotten fans' attention is a locked point of interest in the upper right corner of the map, which has a countdown timer on it, and the timer is counting down to February 4th, which is when the Fallout Season 2 finale will air. So of course, fans are now speculating that it is also counting down to a surprise reveal or potential shadow drop of a shiny new version of Fallout 3 and or Fallout New Vegas.
Watch it be both. Watch it be like a remake of New Vegas and Fallout, and they're gonna have like a bundle deal. Watch. It's gonna be crazy.
Now, realistically, it's probably counting down to something directly related to the show.
Yeah.
Possibly more behind-the-scenes content from the season finale, or maybe teasing the show's third season, which has already been confirmed. That said, the existence of a Fallout 3 remake has also been confirmed. Internal Microsoft documents leaked during the FTC trial back
So I was right. There is gonna be a Fallout 3 remake, okay.
2023 has already been confirmed. That season said, the existence of a Fallout 3 remake has also been confirmed. Internal Microsoft documents leaked during the FTC trial back in 2023 make mention of one. These same documents, which are from 2020, so they're a little bit out of date, also mention the Elder Scrolls Oblivion remaster, which surprise dropped last April. The old documents have the Oblivion remaster listed as a 2022 release and Fallout 3 remaster listed as 2024, so assuming the Fallout 3 remaster didn't get scrapped, it's gotta be pretty far along by now. The documents...
Yeah, it's probably gonna come out this year. Because if Oblivion came out last year, then Fallout 3's due for this year.
A New Vegas remake, but there have been rumors of that too. So if
nobody wants that. I'm kidding, by the way. I don't know why, but I like Fallout 3 way more. I love Fallout 3. I should probably replay Fallout New Vegas. I don't remember it all that well. I really don't. I should replay Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. I should. The hell is this? Another Sea of... Why is it that they're still trying to make Sea of Thieves knockoffs whenever the game went under? This is 5 minutes. I'm not watching this. I'm not watching that. This is from PUBG Studios, I guess.
Mental behavior, vibes are major. They don't want no heat, they don't want danger. Serial sager, incense burner, bars on the mic.
What the fuck is this garbage? You went from making PUBG to that? Bro. Bro.
Want to go on an adventure? I have a suggestion. I don't have time to go and see the beauty of the Anotos Mountains. You can take the view for me.
That's cool.
Northridge. Always Northridge. We do what we must.
Get in now. Midmark flight.
Oh!
I'm here to It's a winter wonderland. The snow in those mountains will bury you.
What the fuck? I didn't. What the fuck? That was weird. Oh, isn't this that one game? This doesn't even have any gameplay. This motherfucker's still in concept, bro. Like, what? Ooh, this will look good. There we go.
Welcome to the world of Execular. We are Kasia and Amadeus, the creators of the game.
And this is Gameplay Overview.
Oh!
Execular is a first-person action-adventure game that encourages exploration, rewards curiosity.
And never holds your hand.
You play as Denzel Phoenix, an Execular, a corporate bounty hunter.
Execulars hunt down fugitives and reclaim souls from those who try to escape the system.
Damn, okay.
One of the game's main hubs is the Tower, a massive fortress city ruled by the Helion Corporation. This is where you accept contracts, upgrade your gear, and prepare for missions.
Job well done, contract fulfilled.
The game is structured in chapters, and almost everyone begins and ends in the tower.
Outside the tower lies a harsh, scorched desert. You travel through it in a heavily modified car designed to protect you from extreme conditions such as heat and radiation. Inside the vehicle, you have access to your computer, storage, and a working radio.
No! That's sick. Yo, I might end up playing this. This looks good. Oh! I think 2026 might be the year of indies, man.
Part of the experience.
Inventory space is limited, and every item matters, forcing players to make careful decisions about what to carry and what to leave behind.
Hellion's high-tech systems allow you to hack devices, pick locks, and access restricted areas.
Your cybernetic implants help you uncover hidden elements and investigate the environment. Missions and level design are fully non-linear. There's no single way to complete a contract. Stealth, dialogue, and combat are all valid approaches and can be freely combined.
In Exekiller, every decision matters.
What's it gonna be? Plata or muerte?
Damn, that's what's up.
Wishlist Exekiller on Steam.
As a parent, you've got one job. Protect your family. Whatever happens, you do it or die trying. But even if you kick the bucket, you don't stay dead for long.
Holy. This looks really good, actually. Now we got to get our Street Fighter stuff in today.
This is the main event here at Hager Stadium. Our first fighter is this man.
That guy looks funky, dude.
And his opponent, the Dark Devil himself, the man with no allies. The mighty Titan is on the move. Can the Devil himself survive this oncoming onslaught?
Oh!
Disrespect from the challenger. What a heartless humanoid.
Was that a filing cabinet? That's a filing cabinet. It's a refrigerator, bro. There's a refrigerator in the crowd. It's actually like screaming too.
Disrespect from the challenger.
What have I been missing out on fucking Street Fighter? What the fuck?
Shut up. They already rang the bell. No mercy at all! No wonder he has no ally! gets tucked into bed in the middle of Hagar Stadium.
That's kind of cool. What if there was like a fighter game that had like a cheat mechanic to it? Like you could play as either the cheater team or the, like, I don't know, I guess the good guy team for now, we'll call it that. And the cheater team can use like cheats to catch people off guard, you know? I think that'd be kind of cool. An interesting like twist to it. Oh, this is that Pokemon-like game. You know what's sad? Is that these graphics immediately look better than the recent Pokemon game. At least you know what you're stepping into. Oh, this is 24 minutes. Holy fuck. I wonder what this could be a rip of. Huh. We may never know.
Peggy
16. Oh. Oh. I can't stand that. I can't stand when there's a like you could clearly see an NPC attacking it, right? I can't stand it whenever the NPCs attack a mob in any game and the boss is just going to attack you no matter what. It's going to attack the player. I hate that. Like, if an NPC's attacking an enemy, it should play it like Elden Ring does and make it to where it pulls aggro. What the fuck? Bro, that's the kind of attack that would make me throw my controller right there. Old Vein has been around for a minute now. Alright, that's it for gaming.
Saw this. There's been a big problem. The United States is increasingly issuing work visas to OnlyFans models based on the audience reach, according to Financial Times.
You hear that? The United States government is letting in OnlyFans models.
Influencers and
hey, guess who's flipping the shit?
OnlyFans stars flood the O1 visa applications. O1 visas, it's for high performers in their fields. Basically, we are having a mass importation of hoes. So guess who's mad about it?
Work visas? I had to go.
See, I love whenever we would say if roles reversed, they would be flipping shit. Now we get to experience it. The world is a magical place filled with unreasonable possibilities, isn't it, boys?
Look this up. Essentially, when you want to come into the country on a visa, there's a bunch of different categories that you can apply for a visa.
But if it was a Hispanic illegal, you'd currently be in Minnesota protesting ICE.
There's this extraordinary artist type.
No, hold on. An illegal Hispanic child rapist. Let me get that more specific.
Actors, actresses, certain types of art or leading roles for a distinguished production. They're getting approved because they come with substantial amounts of subscriber counts and likes and mentions and comments.
Right.
Basically, it's a popularity contest online. They're actually OnlyFans models, like on Instagram. And they're getting...
Yeah, basically most female content creators added an expansion DLC pack to their content in about 2023, and it's called OnlyFans. This is like DLC for female streamers.
This whole idea that we're bringing in our latest and greatest and brightest foreigners into the United States to make America great again seems like it's...
You know what the best part about allowing these people to come in? Number one, they're not taking anybody's fucking job. Number two, they're already making money, which means they don't have to apply for our resources that are finite, like Social Security, food stamps, and stuff like that. I would much rather somebody come in that's already established content creator that makes money than bringing in somebody that's going to take an American job that could have just as easily been handed to an American.
Kind of bullshit. Because it would seem as if you're not specifically selected for a certain position, you would have to come under this creative visa. 50%
Unless they served in the military. If you get like brought in because you served in the military, you did service to the country. As far as I'm concerned, you're fine. Like no, like that's the difference. Now, if any immigrant wants to serve in the United States military or the Air Force or the Marines or whatever, I think that's a great way to get into the United States. I do. Like, if I was in a foreign country, I would try to do that. Honestly. Like, why wouldn't you? You would be able to learn English. They would put you through programs. You would get job opportunities. Like, that's the way to go. And what better way to show patriotism than serving the United States military? Seriously.
Visas are given to OnlyFans models. Well, seems like a legal loophole for trafficking and prostitution. What the fuck do I know? Stupid.
I told you so. And I made this tweet. I said, everyone knows why. White women love to vote to bring in immigrants from shitholes around the world. But if Trump started importing millions of Asian baby girls into America, they would form the SS overnight.
Yep.
So, you know who, if I remember correctly, Hassan retweeted this. Women Understander has logged on. It is the year 2026, and it has now been proven that I understand women better than Hassan. People get mad at the truth. I mean, like, what am I supposed to say? It's really funny that I knew this the whole time, bro. Stop being right.
Can't do it, man. Oh, this might have been a mistake. So this is actually, do we have any updates from the protests happening in Minneapolis right now? Let's see if we've got any updates.
Let's bring in a Minnesota private business council member and former Republican Minnesota Attorney General candidate, Jim Schultz. Jim, thank you so much for being here. I mean, man, a lot going on in the city and state that you love. What is your reaction to all of this?
Well, it's another really painful and traumatic experience for our...
Bro, you just see people getting dragged away. Look.
Going on in the city and state that you love. What is your
people
reaction
just getting dragged away, bro. Look.
Well, it's another really painful and traumatic
experience
for our state here. And again, we
Bro, how do you get these gas masks? These gas masks are worth thousands. Look at that gas mask. That's like military grade shit, bro.
for our state
What
here.
the fuck?
And again, we have a circumstance in which the governor of our state, other leaders have totally failed to step up to meet the moment. Tim Walz, has said that the state is at war with the federal government, that he's calling up the National Guard to oppose the federal government. This is really just bizarre behavior on the part of our president. Really troubling in terms of his state of mind, in terms of how he thinks about it. We need leaders right now to step up, turn the temperature down, to bring people together. And I'm sorry to say.
You see, here's what I think. I think that if you want to sit here and you want to be violent protesters, they need to bring in the United States military, call martial law, input the Insurrection Act, and lock this down. That's what the fuck they need to do. They need to lock this shit the fuck down. And then once they do all of that, they need to follow the paper trail, and they need to lock up Tim Walz for being involved in all this statewide fraud. That's what they need to do. Stop playing games. Stop being a fucking limp dick ass Viagra eating motherfucker. Do your job. Do your job as the president of the United States. Enforce the law. Crack down on this. Completely obliterate this. Give them no chance to breathe and put these people in jail. Put them in a detainment center. Put them in a stadium and don't let them out until this is done. That's what you do with these people. They want to get in front of the road. They want to fucking block ICE agents. They want to use their vehicles as barricades. They want to stand in front of vehicles, immediately get out, detain them, ship them right over to a stadium. Hold them all there.
That Tim Walz continues to do just the opposite.
You can protest. Protest on the sidewalks. Protest with signs, with music. Even Martin Luther King despised violent protesters, despised people getting in the roadways. You know why? Because it hurts your cause. That's why.
It's so many of your elected leaders. Over the past 48 hours, we have heard complete misunderstandings of law. And as an AG candidate, I'm sure,
It's not misunderstanding. It's on purpose. They do it on purpose. They do it on purpose because at the end of the day, the law's not going to defend a bunch of radical terrorists. And they know it. So they've got to contort the law in a way that makes them seem like the good guys. Of course. That's how it always is. The law is never going to defend bad intentions, but it will always defend good intentions.
That as well. We've also seen a lot of rage and, quite frankly, lies when it comes to facts. So what do the majority of Minnesotans think when they see their elected...
It doesn't matter what they think. They've got mob mentality, and they all share the one brain cell.
Leaders led by Tim Walz demonstrating what they've shown over the last 48 hours.
Well, I think you'd have to say that the vast majority of Minnesotans are just deeply troubled about the trajectory of our state.
See this? This right here? What you got to do is you got to sit in the United States military. You see, you form up around this entire crowd, and you individually arrest them. You do not let any of these people leave that are on the roadway. None of them. You surround these people with military, and you, one by one, handcuff them. You get a big-ass fucking military vehicle, and you bust their ass over to goddamn a stadium or a holding or detainment center, and you detain them there until the investigation is done. However long that takes. If it takes 3 years, then I guess you're going to be there a while, bitch. Maybe you shouldn't have done it.
Last 5-6 years.
They in there blocking the roadways, throwing shit at ICE. No. And now if it snowballs, that's a little different, but it doesn't matter because they're still blocking the roadway. Stop blocking roadways.
Walz's leadership. He's been totally ill-equipped. He's been totally negligent in so much of his leadership, whether it comes to circumstances like this, when it comes to fraud and so forth. And so the average Minnesotan is looking out there and saying, what happened to the state, this true leader of the country that we had just a few years ago?
Vice President J.D. Vance made a big announcement yesterday, announcing a multi-state fraud task force, of course, in the wake of the Minnesota fraud scandal. He did this during the White House press briefing. Listen to how that sounded.
We're looking in with broad investigatory authority to a number of the instances of wrongdoing that we've seen in Minneapolis. But we also want to expand this. We know that the fraud isn't just happening in Minneapolis, it's also happening in states like Ohio. It's happening in states like California. And so what we're doing in order to help coordinate this remarkable interagency effort from the Trump administration, but also to make sure that we prosecute the bad guys and do it as swiftly and efficiently as possible.
So the Trump administration is creating a new assistant attorney general position focused on investigating fraud in Minneapolis and states across the country. Do you think that's what's needed to get to the bottom of all of this?
Well, for a long time now here in Minnesota, all the prosecutions around the massive fraud that's been present in our state that we've heard so much about, all of those prosecutions have been done by the federal government. The federal government has...
You know why? Because your state government isn't doing jack shit. They allowed it to, they enabled and gave the tools to these people for them to do it. There is audio recording of your administrators in court telling these people how to do what they've done. And it was released by whistleblowers. You are cooked. Your administration's done. Tim Walz isn't even running for re-election because he knows where the paper trail leads. He knows. We all, in a way, kind of know.
Up, and on the other hand,
but you're gonna sit here and try to say that it's Trump's fault? Trump never had beef with fucking Tim Walz. Hell, this never took off until Nick Shirley went down there and investigated himself as an independent journalist. There are other Democrats across the country that are running cities he has had no problems with. Why is it specifically the ones that are doing the fraud? Come on, guys. Why? Let's think about this. You think that every, what is it, 3 states out of the entire country, those are the only blue states? Come on. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously. They don't have any problem with New York right now. What's going on?
Tim Walz, our Attorney General, Keith Ellison, and so many others have brought no prosecutions on our side. And so instead, the federal government has to step up on account of that. And so absolutely, this is welcome. This is needed. We have to ensure that taxpayer dollars are used appropriately. In our state, we've seen that they certainly are not, and that state authorities have again failed to step up. And so absolutely, the federal government needs to continue to step in here.
My man, let's go.
Upwards of $500 billion in fraud, upwards of $500 billion. What do you think the connection is, Jim, quickly, and how intertwined are the issues of this fraud with illegal immigration?
I mean, it's so obvious. Do we even need to sit here and listen to him talk about it? It's so obvious. So she went down into the Minneapolis area, and she was in there interviewing people, in the crowd. Oh, it's this.
It's nothing like being on the ground, talking to people, to try to get a clearer picture of the story, which is what we did today in Minneapolis. Right now, there's about 300 people here. Fairly peaceful. I guess some Antifa are back there. But they're going to have the fires, food, water, a lot of people in masks. But people are coming out and expressing themselves. It kind of takes on almost a community civic event. And although it was pretty peaceful, and it really was. I mean, in that vigil, it was basically people, they had a fire, they were giving out food, water, and, some people were
If only it would stay that way.
So that was fine. But if you actually go into the mix and try to chat with people, you end up getting escorted out. And they kind of nicely but aggressively escort you out across their border. So then we headed over to the Whipple Federal Building.
Big surprise.
And earlier in the day, you saw some of those, those conflicts between the ICE officers and the protesters were there. And things there, well, they got a little more interesting.
That. To the human race.
Why are you wearing a mask? Why are you wearing a mask?
Because my nose is cold. Why do you care if I'm wearing a mask?
I'm just curious. It's a question. This is the crowd. And they apparently...
Wow, look at all the hundreds of people This is so fucking thin, there's like nobody here, bro. You noticed how the other crowd, they were just kind of doing their own thing, they were like vibing, and then you got all the agitators, like, see what's gonna happen is that other group is gonna meet up with this one in a few hours, and that's where, like, because these are obviously the agitators. The agitators are gonna go where they think all the action is and try to agitate. So, if you can just keep the mob separated, and then just round these retards up, problem solved.
They are policing their borders. So they're policing their borders here, which is fascinating. Shame! Shame! Oh, bro, so boring.
You know where they got that from? They got that from Game of Thrones. When the lady had to walk, the queen had to walk in the street butt-ass naked, and people were throwing shit at her, and the guy had the bell, and he was like, shame, shame, ding ding, shame, ding ding. That's where they get this from. They can't even come up with anything original. It has to be this. That's all they got.
Do you have a job? Do you have a job?
Right? Yo, low key.
Well,
what did she say? She's getting paid right now. She's getting paid right now. That's what she said whenever she got asked by a media person if she has a job. She's getting paid right now. That should be a big old red flag to everybody. She's getting paid right now to be down here agitating. What does that sound like to you?
Do you have a job? Do you have a job?
Huh.
Well, and as we were leaving in our vehicle, they did what they can do. They gave us all the finger. I think they secretly liked us, though. But a few observations here. So the protests are always smaller than they look on TV.
Yeah.
Many of the folks there seem like they do this for recreation. And there are others they're truly mourning and really upset. And others seem to be people who just don't believe the United States should have any borders. But again, they sure do aggressively police their own borders. And while, again, there were plenty of people there just peacefully protesting, there are just as many people out there who seem like lifelong members of the agitator industrial complex. You heard that one woman, unclear whether she...
Yo, low key, I like that. The agitator industrial complex. That is an amazing way. It kind of makes you wonder if the people that were part of the military industrial complex have anything to do with this. Someone's funding this. There's no fucking way.
Joking or not, saying she was paid for being there?
Mm-hmm.
Huh, interesting. So even if they're not throwing stuff or physically blocking ice, disrespecting law enforcement, a lot of them just seem perpetually pissed off. Well, and I wonder why. As we see with what's happening, is more horrible news out of Portland tonight. Rage is being stoked, and it's mostly being stoked by a party with no solutions.
They wanted a moment like this, and look, it happened.
We should not have ICE agents patrolling our streets. They're not needed, they create chaos, and they even create deaths.
There are going to be protests around this entire country because of the state-sanctioned execution that we all...
No, it's not the entire country, it's just some of the states. Some of the states where the administration would rather fight back against the ICE agents than let them and work with the police there. You notice that we don't have this problem in Texas. Florida doesn't have this problem. DC didn't have that problem after they got the International Guard. No other states having this problem. Just the ones where the administration are telling ICE agents to get out. Big surprise.
Blood is clearly on the hands of those individuals within the administration.
ICE has been carrying out state-sanctioned violence in our communities. We have seen...
I wonder why she doesn't want ICE there. I wonder if that has anything to do with them deporting thousands of Somalians that are obviously giving her the 5-to-1 vote because of their vouching system that they have for voting there. I wonder if that has anything to do with why she doesn't want ICE there. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
So many of citizens.
But the worst of the worst today was a slimy comment by the ever-odious Tim Walz, governor of this state, claiming that he wants to...
Tim Walz is running with the tail in between his legs, man. He's so scared Trump was going to crack down with martial law. You notice that whenever he gave his statement about everything, he was like, yeah, just make sure that you peacefully protest. Don't block cars. Don't do this. Don't do that. You know why? Because that motherfucker's bordering being locked up for inciting a insurrection. That's why.
Things down. And then he invokes a Nazi threat.
We're at one of those inflection points that simply asking our government to give us accountability, listen to local leaders, ratchet down the rhetoric, let people feel safe. As we remembered, many of us in here in sophomore, when we read it, that the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most important directive. It certainly feels like that in this moment.
Okay, so we want to tamp things down as we keep vilifying law enforcement, federal agents.
What was the original?
And I also say, where is the empathy?
That's really sad. The original Minnesota flag looks so much better. Not that Somali flag. Yeah, it looks so much like the Somali flag. It's not even funny, dude. That's so stupid. That's so
for the
fucking
ICE
stupid.
officer involved in that shooting yesterday.
What a
who,
joke.
according to the New York Post, was himself dragged and hospitalized by an illegal...
Yo, the original Minnesota flag had 19 stars on it, signifying its place as the 19th state in the U.S.
alien driver last year. The attack on the officer, whom the Post is not naming, happened June 17th in Bloomington, Minnesota, exactly a month after embattled Minnesota Governor Tim Walz labeled ICE agents modern-day Gestapo while speaking at the University of Minnesota Law School graduation. And today, Vice President Vance blasted Democrats and the media for lying.
Rightfully so. We gonna cover that. We gonna cover that. Don't worry. We gonna cover that. Give me a second. Let me use the bathroom. Okay.
Time? Yeah.
Here we go. Couch fucker
Good
time.
afternoon, everybody. And I want to echo some of what Carolyn said about what we're doing to combat the rampant fraud that exists in our immigration system, thanks to failed politicians and thanks to people who allowed the American taxpayer to be taken advantage of for far too long. I think it's important to understand why this matters to the American people. I am a father of 3 young kids, a lot of people in my generation. What is that going on there? Is that normal? Okay. CNN installed this broken camera just to throw me off my game, but it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So here's the simple fact here. If you're a young parent struggling to afford for your kids to get in daycare, for your kids to get in preschool, those others make it hard for you to get the access to the resources you need. But number 2, making it easier for people who shouldn't even be in this country to fleece the United States and our taxpayers to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, if you're here and you're either a foreigner that migrated here legally or you're illegal, and you are taking like food stamps, Social Security, like money from the government shouldn't be going to you, period. You shouldn't be getting paid to stay in, like, that is for Americans whose families have, actually served in the military, for people who have served in the military, for people who have generations here. This isn't supposed to be for you. You are here because you're getting paid to be here by some job that wants you to use you as a indentured servitude because hiring an American would cost them more money. That's why you're here. Like, you shouldn't be moving to a different country and then living on welfare whenever people in that country can't even have that. That's fucked. That's just bad.
We have actually activated a major interagency task force to make it possible to get to the heart of this fraud. We have Department of Agriculture resources that are focused on SNAP fraud, so that people who need food benefits can get them, but illegal aliens and other fraudsters don't. We have over 1,500 subpoenas that the Department of Justice has issued to get to the heart of the fraud ring. We've done almost 100 indictments, mostly Somali immigrants, but also a few others. And of course, we're looking in with broad investigatory authority to, but we also want to expand this. What's happening in states like California. And so what we're doing in order to help that we
I bet California's got all kinds of fraud going through it.
The bad guys and do it at Attorney General. Of course,
LA too. You can't tell me all that money that's supposed to go towards preventing fires is actually going to preventing fires. Whenever last year they didn't even have fucking water in January and February. Those firefighters didn't even have water to put out the fire. And they were understaffed? No, bro. All that money is going towards fraud of some sort. There's no way. You can't convince me otherwise.
Primarily in Minnesota, but it is going to be a nationwide effort because unfortunately the American people have been defrauded in a very nationwide way. I want to think a couple.
Obviously, they should do this with the fraud actions, multiple departments, an entire area.
They need to do an entire crackdown on this for every state. Every state needs this crackdown.
To the federal government to just look after fraud. I mean, this is the reason why they had Doge. This is why I supported Doge, is because this was going on at a mass scale. Anybody, as I said, that's around any illegal alien and low-income communities knows that fraud like this is totally widespread.
I mean, like, think about, like, whenever you drive to the convenience store. When you just drive in, like, a couple blocks away from your house or your apartment or wherever you stay, and you see all these buildings that have no fucking movement ever. They're like shady-ass buildings that are just sitting there that nobody ever goes in, nobody ever comes out of. It's probably fraud. How else do you think they're able to pay for that? They're all over Houston. They're all over Austin. They're all over fucking LA, fucking Minnesota. They're everywhere. How else do you think these places just sit there like that?
A lot of resources to Minneapolis to start to investigate and prosecute this fraud really at an industrial scale. We've never seen fraud like this in the history of our country. Pam has been doing a great job to get the resources there to uncover it.
I feel like it's been around for a long time. It's just now being uncovered. And thankfully, it was by an independent journalist and not our social media.
But importantly, creating a job
How
like
did Doge work out? It didn't work out very well. That's why they need to go after it even more. Didn't deliver.
I don't like that they shut Doge down. I feel like Doge should be a permanent part of the United States government in a way to fight back fraud. That's what really needs to happen.
Make sure that we stop. I've heard a lot of people say that we need a special counsel to investigate fraud in the United States of America. I actually agree, and that's what.
Yeah, that's exactly why you had Doge. Like, that was the entire reason, is that this problem was so big.
Authority of a special counsel, but with two crucial differences. Number one, it will be run out of the White House under the supervision of me and the President of the United States. And number two, it's actually constituted.
I feel like this is a way for them to do this in secret without them forcing, like what happened with Doge. Like if you just have the vice president and the president of the United States running this council, I feel like it's going to be way more efficient than if you have all these senators trying to get involved, like what happened to Doge, and stir up all this like nuisance storm around them.
Constitutionally legitimate. As you guys may know, the special counsel statute has some major constitutional questions. When we get the bad guys, we want to make sure we get them permanently and they don't have some legal technicality they can get out of, which is why we set it up as an associate attorney general. I'll take some questions, but I want to. Somebody sent me a photo of a CNN headline about what happened in Minneapolis.
I really got to say, J.D. Vance has been cooking, man. Like, I mean, the demeanor, the delivery, everything about this. Like,
well, he's an American like everybody else. He's a young one. He's younger than all those freaking boomers that are in the government ruining everything. So he understands how media works. He grew up with it, you know. He's a millennial, if I'm not mistaken, and he gets it.
Trump really, like, I mean, he got in RFK, and does RFK really talk a lot? No, he just goes out there and outlaws food dyes, and that's it.
Yeah, he's a millennial.
And then he's got Pete Hegseth. Really, I mean, yeah, this is great.
This administration that Trump has this go around is so much better than the My Pillow guy and Rudy Giuliani and all those freaking schizos. He got reformed, boys.
And this is the headline. I'm just going to read it. Outrage after ICE officer kills U.S. citizen in Minneapolis. Well, that's one way to put it, and that is the way that many people in the corporate media have put this attack over the last 24 hours. And I say attack very, very intentionally, because this was an attack on federal law enforcement. This was an attack on law and order.
He got charged with domestic terrorism. Like, come on, guys.
This was an attack on the American people. The way that the media...
It's an attack on democracy.
Like, like, for example, I do use a little bit of clickbaity stuff in my titles, sure. But if I have millions of viewers that see my videos constantly, I'm definitely going to be wording my shit differently than trying to use the most clickbaity title, especially from a big media outlet like CNN.
People voted to have these ICE removals. They voted for this. It won. It won. This is like one of the main things they voted for was to...
Yeah, that was one of the big things that Trump was campaigning for, was the removal of illegal immigrants.
Get rid of the fucking illegals. Like, they're attacking democracy. This is what they wanted.
Yeah, by and large, has reported this story, has been an absolute disgrace, and it puts our law enforcement officers at risk every single day.
Thank you. Now, if we could only round up these people that are on Reddit that are making threats towards not only political people, but also like anybody on any kind of platform. We got to get these people that are threatening the threatening violence, and we got to round these people up and put them in jail forever or in a happy hotel. Either one.
Oh my God. Yes, I want to hear a lot more of this, but I don't want to. The thing is that I like JD a lot. I think JD Vance is great, but at the same time, what makes me mad is that, bro, you're the vice president. Can't we do a little bit more than talk, right? Can't we do just a little bit more?
Right.
That headline leaves out is the fact that that very ICE officer nearly had his life ended, dragged by a car 6 months ago.
I actually found pictures of that agent that had been hit a month prior to this incident where he shot and killed this domestic terrorist. He had to get stitches all up and down his arm. He was dragged 300 feet underneath that car. and he was trying to get an illegal immigrant child molester.
Stitches in his leg. So you think maybe he's a little bit sensitive about somebody ramming him with an automobile? What that?
No. Oh, fuck, not again.
Right? Yeah, no. When that dude was about to get hit, he was like, "Not this time, bitch. Nuh-uh."
Think about it. Really think. Fuck.
That headline leaves out is that woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation in the United States of America. What that headline leaves out is that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack, to dox.
Doesn't this bitch have a job? Like, really? Like, I mean, how is it that all these hoes just have all this time to run around and cause trouble? I mean, like, don't you think they have something better to do? Like, what the fuck? Really? Like, damn, like, you ain't got something that was her job? She getting paid? I gotta figure that out.
To assault and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job. If the media wants to tell the truth, they ought to tell the truth that a group of left-wing radicals have been working tirelessly, sometimes using domestic terror techniques to try to make it impossible.
I mean, organizing and conspiring to disrupt and, you know, like, basically damage and stop federal investigations is against the law, bro. Like, why aren't you going out and arresting them? If you know they're in these group chats and you know they're doing this, why aren't they getting arrested?
So why is it that a lady from Colorado is all the way in Minneapolis, Minnesota, blockading ICE agents? It says here Renee Nicole Good was from Colorado Springs, Colorado, where she was born and spent most of her life. She later resided in various locations, including Virginia, Missouri, Kansas, and ultimately Minneapolis, Minnesota, where she was killed by an ICE agent. Like,
that's what's crazy.
The President of the United States to do what the American people elect.
Awful sanctuary state laws. What the fuck is going on?
ICE agent involved yesterday's. He was shooting was previously dragged over 300 feet by this illegal alien child rapist from Guatemala, being harbored by Minnesota fraud Governor Tim Walz under his unlawful sanctuary state law.
According to a federal complaint, agents were executing. According to a federal complaint,
this is the same guy that shot and killed that fucking domestic terrorist 2 days ago.
We're executing a warrant for 39-year-old Roberto Carlos Munoz. They say Munoz entered the country.
He pleaded guilty
unlawfully, and he also pled guilty to fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct back in 2023.
Fourth degree.
For abusing a minor.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
Well, we got to keep him, right?
Tuesday morning, agents pulled him over. Court documents say he repeatedly refused to comply.
I would have never
guessed.
guessed.
Agent took out his spring-loaded window punch with his right hand and broke the driver's side rear window.
Yeah, sure.
These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through.
That's kind of fucking impressive, honestly. It is. That's like out of
and he's back out there the next month.
Movie.
Front yards. These graphics.
Yeah, look at what it did to him, dude. It fucked him up. Look.
Show the aftermath. A bloody agent who needed 33 stitches for his
holy
significant
this
crime.
is the same guy.
And now a political battle with a top Homeland Security official criticizing Governor Tim Walz, posting on X, instead of comparing ICE law enforcement to the Gestapo, Walz should be thanking our brave law enforcement.
It's insane.
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy that you want to push back on ICE. They're federal agents, bro. They're going to be there whether you like it or not. And here's something you should really keep in mind. Whenever you hurt one of them, two more take his place. The federal government is not just going to back down because a couple people running a state decide that they should just back down and go away. That's not how this works. You are part of the United States. That means that you are one of 50 states. So, like, you have to follow what the collective want. That's just all there is to it. It doesn't matter how many people you import to come up with your own ideology. At the end of the day, your loyalty is to your people, to the American people specifically.
Department of Justice says a request for Munoz to be held after that 2022 arrest was, quote, not honored by local authorities, and Munoz was released.
Are you kidding me?
There you go. So this is the guy. This is the guy yesterday that shot that woman.
That this is some innocent woman who was out for a drive in Minneapolis when a law enforcement officer shot at her. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yep.
Every single one
The
of you.
first shot went through the front windshield.
Questions.
Questions.
Earlier today, he said when things looked bleak, it was Minnesota's first that held the line for the nation on July 3rd, 1863, and I think we
1863? They want JD Vance to comment on Tim Walz weaponizing the Civil War?
maybe in that moment now. Can you comment on his rhetoric?
Right, bro. That's all you can do is laugh at that.
Mayor Jacob Frey,
Exactly.
and whether they
It's
want
so
to see
ridiculous.
unrest in Minneapolis.
Well, that's very tough rhetoric from a guy who just quit because his fraudulent activities have been uncovered. Look, Tim.
Oh! Ho, ho, ho! JD Vance not holding any punches, man. Couchfucker's on a roll today.
All right. Yeah, true.
Walz is a joke. His entire administration his fraudulent activities have been uncovered. Look, Tim Walz is a joke. His entire
I agree. I think Tim Walz is a joke.
Man. Yep. There it is. I love to see it.
entire administration has been a joke. The idea that he's some sort of freedom fighter, he's not. He's a guy who has enabled fraud and maybe, in fact, has participated in fraud. That's what this new Assistant Attorney General position is going to find out.
We gotta figure this
I don't
out.
care what Tim Walz says. I care about getting to the bottom of this fraud for the American people, and I care about enforcing the nation's immigration laws. That's what we're going to stay focused on.
Unrelated question here. I mean, Democrats have accused Mace of murder. They've said they're targeting Americans.
Oh, man, he's got to be getting tired of hearing that shit, too. He's got to be getting tired of hearing, oh, Democrats, Republicans, left, right. Bro, we got a bunch of bad actors rolling around using the government positions they have to elicit millions of dollars, billions of dollars worth of fraud across this country and taking it away from taxpayers that are working hard just to support themselves. Enough of this left and right rhetoric bullshit. Get these people, put them in jail where they belong, and end this.
They told ICE to get the F out Minnesota. This is going to stoke the fire against ICE agents. And you're talking about ICE agents right now, being concerned about them. What, if anything, is the administration going to do to make sure these folks are protected during these protests? But also,
What I think what they should do is they should go in, they should bring in, nationalize the National Guard of Minnesota, invoke the Insurrection Act, arrest fucking the Jacob Frey and Tim Walz, put them in jail, and then just put the entire fucking place on martial law, and then get rid of every single fucking illegal in there.
Yep, that's exactly what they should do. They should crack down on this state at a level you've never seen before. They should completely destroy this state. Anyone that wants to sit there and protest, once they've called in martial law, should be locked up and given a 5 to 15-year sentence. Minimum to maximum. Period. There's enough of these games. People are dying now. People were already dying. This dude could have died. This guy has a family to support. He's just trying to enforce the law. He's trying to do his job, and he's getting attacked because of all this stupid, dumb rhetoric that these political people are playing with. Enough is enough.
That's what they should do. And focus on Minnesota. Because there's other states that are bad, but just put all of your force on just Minnesota.
And everyone else will fall in line. That's the thing. If you show this amount of force to one state, the other states will understand not to keep messing with this. This is not something that you can sit here and play with for 3 or 4 years. He should completely obliterate Minnesota.
Crush them, absolutely. Because it's very clear that if you do that and it works, then all the other states are going to be like, oh, okay, all right, well,
They're doing what they're doing because they're not facing any repercussions. That's why they're doing it. You start putting repercussions for this, you start putting in a form of punishment, you start locking people up, throwing people in jail, you're going to see a whole lot of people that are going to be like, nope, I'm not doing that.
Okay, never mind. Maybe let's be a little bit more reasonable. Yeah, they'll fall in line. Exactly. But you have to go after one of them with the full force.
There is a reason why the government has as much power as it does. Use it. That's why it's there. Use the power that is allotted to the president to enforce the laws federally to a state view. Like you can't just keep sitting here playing games with these states, man. We're never going to get this problem solved.
You set an example, and that's why it'll never happen. I don't think it'll happen either. I don't. But that's what I think they should do. You could bring it in. You could bring it outside military. Yeah, I think they should bring in the military. They should do everything. Do everything they possibly can as an absolute show of force to let them know, no, you're not going to be able to resist this. You're not going to be able to protest this. This is going to happen to you whether you like it or not.
Yep. That's right. That's why we live in a democracy. If you don't like that, then go out and vote. Whoever wins, wins. That's just how it is. That's how it's worked for hundreds of years. That's how it is. If you don't like it, then too damn bad, move to a different country.
DHS sort of revisit their procedures here. I mean, nobody wants to see an American killed. Are there changes that need to be made to make sure something like this doesn't happen again?
Look, first of all, of course, nobody wants an American citizen to be killed. This is absolutely a tragedy. But it's a tragedy of
because
the making of the far left.
Yeah, she did
They have radicalized a very small segment of the population.
I think it's a form of brainwashing. How are you so brainwashed that you have kids you have to support? This woman was a mother, and you riding around all over Minneapolis using your vehicle as a blockade to prevent ICE from moving forward. You ain't at a job. You doing this instead, and you got kids to support. And now they're orphaned because you wanted to sit here, because your brainwashed dumbass wanted to sit here and use your vehicle as a blockade and then try to resist federal police officers and hit them with your car. You're not going down in history as a freedom fighter. You're going down in history as a domestic terrorist. What are you doing? How are you going to let these people brainwash you so much that you are literally throwing your life away for nothing?
Them that ICE agents are engaging in wide-scale violations
of kidnapping,
of people's rights. What our ICE officers are doing is deporting the millions of criminal aliens that were let in during the Biden administration. So number one, we have to say, as a matter of leadership, and I would appreciate if the Democrats would join me on this, let's be honest about the fact that we have way too many illegal aliens in this country. Our ICE officers should be supported in doing their job. You're trying to actually marshal the far left lunatic fringe to engage in doxing, to try to make it impossible for them to enforce the law, and in some cases actually to engage in acts of domestic terrorism against our law enforcement officers. When you talk about different plans, different protocols, different policies, I forget exactly how you asked the question. Here's the simple fact. What we're going to do is make it easier for the American People's Administration to enforce the American people's law. And that means that Democrats have to stop rallying the mob against legitimate law enforcement operations.
Well, ICE agents are legitimate law enforcement. ICE agents can actually, so like federal police officers, they can arrest state people, like police officers. That's what they're there for. They're there to enforce the federal government's law. That's why they exist. That's like, and the fact that you want to sit here and disregard their power is ridiculous. It's childish. Like, it's no different than if that lady had rolled up to a military checkpoint that goes into a military installation. If she had tried to run through and run over the military people there and they shot and killed her, it's no different. Like, you do realize that it's like that nonsense that was going on at Area 51. If someone had tried to drive through the blockade there at Area 51 and they shot and killed that person, well, why is this even? Why are we even having this argument? It's mind blowing to me. You can't just do whatever you think whatever you want to do. There are rules, there are laws in place for a reason to keep people safe. Driving around and blockading ICE agents, that's hazardous. You could hit an ICE agent, you could lose control of the vehicle and hit the ICE agent's vehicle. You could end up hurting immigrants. Like, you're making it more dangerous for them too. Like, you're making it dangerous for yourself. I mean, obviously, look what happened. It did like what?
That's the problem, is he has to go after the ralliers. Because if you don't go after the ralliers, then it's just going to keep happening. Because they're going to rally somebody else. They're going to get somebody else. You have to cut it off at the source. Until you do that, this is just going to keep happening.
That means that we are going to get tougher, and that's what this AAG position is about. We're going to get tougher at the people who are defrauding the United States by inciting violence against our law enforcement officers. That's one of the things that we're going to do. We've already started that work at the Department of Justice, but we're going to keep on doing it, and this new AAG position is going to kick that into high gear.
Vice President Vance, you just suggested that this woman who was killed, Renee Good, is part of a...
So in order to be a ICE agent, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, they have to go through extensive mandatory federal law enforcement training at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, FLETC, in Georgia, covering immigration law, criminal investigation, firearms, de-escalation, and physical skills. Through recent reports highlighted efforts to modernize the potentiality, shorten training for new recruits to meet hiring demands. So, as of recently, they made it shorter. Like, very recently, I think as of this year. But this guy was hired for how long? Federal mandate, all ICE law enforcement officers must complete basic academy training to ensure they can perform their duties safely and effectively. FLETC-based training occurs at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, FLETC, in Glencoe, Georgia, and involves programs like the Criminal Investigator Training Program, CITP, and the Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent Training, HIISAT, comprehensive curriculum training including U.S. immigration law, firearms proficiency, driving techniques, de-escalation techniques, and use of force protocols, Spanish language training through evolving program. ICE continuously updates its training, streamlining programs and incorporating technology while maintaining core standards with ongoing and on-the-job training. Different roles trainings vary slightly for different roles, such as enforcement and removal operations, ERO, officers, or Homeland Security Investigation, HSI, special agents. Prior experience, previous federal law enforcement training may fulfill some requirements, but new basic training may be required after significant breaks in service. Note ICE website. So they have extensive training. They're still law enforcement. Like, they go through an academy just like a police officer does. It's all the same thing. Like, the federal government, to an extent, knows what the fuck it's doing, to an extent. To an extent. Let's be honest here, to an extent. But when it comes to its law enforcement, its military programs, they know what the fuck they're doing because that's where all the money is. Like...
a broader left-wing network.
Yes.
Who do you think is behind this broader left-wing network?
Well, I mean, like, think about it. You can go through basic training in 4 weeks. How's this any different? A month? A month of training? That's pretty damn good. Isn't, like, basic training like 4 weeks? For the military? How long is basic training for the military? Yeah, it's 7 to 12 weeks. So that's what, like, it's like 4 months. But if it's 7 weeks, then that's like 2. So check this out. So I went to my academy, and my academy was, I think, like, man, hold on. I don't remember how long. I think my academy was like 2 months, 3 months. And after, like, I finished my academy, I was a full-fledged firefighter, other than having to go and get my EMT. Like, I was putting out fires already within, like, the first couple weeks of training. So it's not that crazy, especially if you already have, like, think about how many people that joined up with ICE that were already law enforcement, already had military backgrounds, like, how many people that served in the military that already hit a lot of boxes that already knew paramilitary? Like, think about it that way. Yeah, there were a lot of people that had never done anything like it before, but I guarantee you there were a lot more people that were part of the police force or the military that were all, like, ready to do this. Like, think about it that way. Like, they probably, if you were a new hire, they gave you the full ringer. They probably made you work, like, the full 3 or 4 months, right? But if you were, like, already part of the military or something, they probably just put you on a fast track. Because you already know how to follow orders. You know how to de-escalate. You've done all this before. It's like riding a bicycle for the most part.
You're out, but here's the way that I put it. When somebody throws a brick at an ICE agent, or somebody tries to run over an ICE agent, who pays
Well,
for
actually,
the brick?
you're a better person to know about this than anybody. Like, do you think that it, like, I know that you've never been a police officer, but, like, could you pick up a rifle and serve the United States military? I know, obviously, if you still had your bod going, you know what I'm saying? Could you do it like you had just left, if you were still physically fit? Like, that's a genuine question. I'm not trying to demean you in any way. Because, like, if anybody's going to know, like, it definitely, like, I feel that way. I haven't fought a fire in a while, and I could probably pick up a hose and put out a fire. Like, that's just how I feel. Yeah, see, like, yeah, like, they probably just fast-tracked these people that were already in the military. We have a lot of soldiers and troops that came back from Afghanistan. Like, we had 20 years of service members. And that's a lot of people that are just ready to be patriots again, you know? They want to feel like they can do something for their country. And they see what's going on. And there's a lot of people that were military that signed up for ICE. Like, a lot of these guys were already veterans. Like, these aren't just normal people off the street. Like, they interviewed a lot of the people that were in the lines at ICE, and a lot of these guys were, like, you know, sergeants. A lot of them were, like, military, like, ex-military. A lot of them are ready to serve their country again.
And who told protesters to show up? And
You have to keep in mind that we have 20 years of Afghanistan, Iraq, like, people that have been serving. We have a lot of veterans right now, bro. A lot. Like, it's kind of insane to think about how many we have.
In violent activity against our law enforcement officers. You see, just with this most recent terrible incident in Minneapolis, you see friends of this woman's or other people who are eyewitnesses saying basically that she was there to engage in obstruction of a legitimate law enforcement operation.
Of course she was,
How did she get
obviously.
there? How did she learn about this?
Duh.
There's an entire network, and frankly, some of the media are participating in it, that is trying to incite violence against our law enforcement officers. It's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. It's illegal, and they should get arrested. Why not just arrest them?
Preposterous, and part of our investigatory work is getting to the bottom of it. Who's funding it, who's supporting it, who's cheerleading it, and of course, if there's illegal activity related to that,
I don't think so. Like, that dude did what anyone would do in that, like, situation. I feel like that, especially whenever, like, especially if you already were like dragged by a car. I'd imagine that he was probably thinking about that while he was laying in bed, that he could have died. You know, he's got a family he has to go home to. Like, he has to do his job. Like, it's no different than the military. Or like, for me, it's a fire. Like, there's nothing worse than having somebody that doesn't know how to put out fire on your team. You are as strong as the weakest link on your team. And that comes from any form of life, any walk of life. If you, like, I had to ride with somebody that I didn't even was aware. I wasn't even aware they had not even put out a fire. They were scared to. They froze up when they had the nozzle. If I had known that, I'd have been like, get your bitch ass over because I'm taking the fucking nozzle. The only reason why I even let them sit in, I made them get in that chair, was because I had put out 3 fires the night before, and I was fucking tired. But that's part of the de-escalation process. That's the whole reason why he was probably in front of the vehicle, was to make sure she didn't just drive off. Like, you can't. The man made a split-second decision based on prior experience. If, like, my first fire that I caught, I was super fast. But the second fire that I caught, I was even faster. The third fire that I caught, I was even faster. Like, if you're walking up to, for example, a group of Taliban and they all have ARs and you have ARs and you're with the team, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to end very well, right? Like, let's be honest. If you have somebody that's been chasing you around all day that is attempting to flee once they ask you to stop, and your immediate thought is to just floor it and go forward and start trying to run somebody over, regardless of who they are, and they shoot you, I mean, it's kind of one of those things that's like you kind of forfeited your own life. They asked you to get out of the car. The guy was pulling on the handle to get her out of the car. They had walkies. They communicated, let's get this lady. Let's get her out of the car. Enough of this, right? They all knew what they wanted to do. There was no question in their minds what they needed to do. And instead of just stopping the car and getting out, she chose to attempt to run over an ICE agent who had just so happened to have been hit or dragged 300 feet prior to this incident. And he did the first thing that came to his mind, what his training told him to do. That's respectable. He did what they trained him to do. Why else would you have a lethal weapon unless it's to retaliate against something with lethal force? That's just all there is to it. Like, he made a split-second decision, and it may have costed somebody else their life, but she chose that when she decided to attempt to drive off and run somebody over. She made that decision. She knew she had kids to go home to. She knew she had responsibilities. And for whatever reason, she was there causing problems for everybody, including herself. Like, freedom is the only thing that you truly have in this world. The freedom to make a choice. She made her choice. He had to make his. That's all there is to it. Like, it's pretty, like, I don't know. That's just, like, yeah, you could have done 1,000 different things, but at what point of them continuing to do this does she, because, like, she already attempted to run over an ICE officer and trying to flee them. Just imagine if she had gotten away, came back, and started using her car as a battering ram. Like, think about that. Like, you want to think about, like, well, she could have just, they could have just let her go, but because they let her go, she knew she could get away with it, so who's to say she doesn't have in her mind, well, they're going to try and get me anyway, so fuck them, I'm going to try and kill as many as I can, and she comes back and starts ramming the ICE agents, and people end up dying because of this. Like, oh, well, they're going to come to my house and they're going to arrest me anyway. I watched CNN, I saw what they did, those ICE agents, they went and got the people that were protesting and using their cars. I'm going to fucking turn around and hit them as hard as I can. And, like, if you're willing to run over an agent to get away, you're at that point, like, where's the limit? Like, where's the limit? When does it stop? You're already blockading police officers from doing an investigation. When does it stop? It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop until you make it stop. Like, it's no different than a tactician taking more and more ground of an army. Like, Russia and Ukraine. If they don't come to peace, Russia's just going to try to keep taking land. But they're not, because the Ukraine's fighting back so much that they're actually taking land. Like, it only stops whenever somebody, like maybe the U.S. or somebody, or they admit that they lost, which, I mean, let's be honest here. Like, it doesn't end. It just keeps getting worse.
Prosecute it where we can.
Vice President, thank you for taking questions today. Is there a risk with you describing...
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. if you are being detained, I say if a federal officer tells you you're being detained, stop the car. Get out of the car. Turn the engine off. Put it in park. You have people surrounding you with ARs and handguns. It's not worth your life. Take it up in court. Stop the car. Turn the car off. Get out of the car. Just admit it. You fucked up. Take it up in court. Oh, but they illegally arrested me. Yeah, you're right. They did. Cool. Don't throw your life away over. Dude, I don't want to see people get shot. You think I want to fucking see that? Nobody wants to fucking see that. Nobody in this administration wants to see that. Nobody does. But they're going to defend themselves if they have to. Like, I'm sure this guy didn't want to spend another 2 weeks in a hospital. Fuck that, dude. That shit sucks. Seriously, like, nobody wants that.
Range left is talking about very specific facts of these events when an investigation is just beginning.
Shut up, Karen.
Like, you got a bunch of people surrounding your car that all say ICE or police on their vests. They have badges. They are federal law enforcement agents. That means you get the fuck out of the car. You don't attempt to run them over with it, trying to get away. That's no.
Don't drive your car at a federal officer. Case closed. What are you, fucking retarded?
Well, think about, like, if an illegal immigrant tried to cross Border Patrol. Border Patrol is the weakest link that we have in this country. You can't even, if you're Border Patrol, you can't even pull somebody over. But just imagine if someone tried to drive their car through like the wall down at Mexico and almost struck Border Patrol. You think that Border Patrol shouldn't be allowed to defend themselves? Fuck that. Light that car up, bro. Like, that's why you got guns. That's the whole reason why you have guns. If someone's trying to hurt you or run you over and you're trying to enforce the law, they have a responsibility to enforce the law. They do. That's their job. That's the whole reason why they're there. That's the whole reason why the military goes into foreign countries. They have to enforce their job. That's their job, to detain people. And if they have lethal force used against them just like the military, then guess what? Like, you think they want to do that? Fuck no. You think anyone wants to go to war? Fuck no. Nobody wants that shit.
Shut up. Like, it's just so deluded.
It makes it worse when you have people like Tim Walz and the governor of Minnesota saying, oh, they don't want them here. Go out and protest and do it peacefully, knowing full well that you saying that, they're going to go out there and they're going to cause all kinds of chaos.
And stupid. It's almost funny.
You preempting a thorough investigation by drawing...
I didn't want to see that lady die. You know what I wanted to see? I wanted to see the ICE agents detain her. I want to see people get locked up. I don't want to see people lose their lives over this stupid shit, because that's what it is. It's stupid shit. People don't deserve to die because of this, but if you want to sit there and use your car like a battering ram to get away from law enforcement, then I don't know what you expected. It's no different than that dude that we watched get out of his friend's car and then jump over the railing. It's like, what? You expect me to feel sorry for that? Fuck no, dude. Like, if you want to protest, great. If you want to use your car to blockade ICE, fine. But the minute they ask you to get out of the car, you are being detained, it's over. You've had your fun. Take it up in court. You're done. You had your fun. You've been following them around all day and harassing them. It's over. Just get out of the car. Like, they were pulling on the handle. She had her window down. They were telling her to get out of the vehicle. She instead decided to drive through agents. And it ended in her life. I have no sympathy for that. If a police officer's telling me to get the fuck out of the car, hey man, hold on, let me get my buckle, hold on. I got a firearm on me. Let me, I ain't got my hand. No, I ain't touching nothing, bro. You got this. It's right there, right hip, left hip, however many I have that day. Take it, go on, you can have it. I don't want no trouble. It ain't worth my life. You know why? Because I learned in Grand Theft Auto that whenever you kill police officers, 7 more spawn. You don't win that situation. You only lose. Take it up in court, bro. It ain't worth your life. Nothing's worth your life like that.
Information beyond the videos we've seen publicly about this individual, her specific acts that has informed your point of view.
He did go to trial. They threw it out. They charged this woman as a domestic terrorist. She is going down in history as a domestic terrorist. They did decide.
First of all, the Department of Justice is going to investigate this. The Department of Homeland Security is already investigating this. But the simple fact is, what you see is what you get in this case. You have a woman who is trying to obstruct a legitimate law enforcement operation. Nobody debates that. You have a woman who aimed her car at a law enforcement officer and pressed on the accelerator. Nobody debates that. I can believe that her death is a tragedy while also recognizing that it's a tragedy of her own making. And
Exactly. Exactly.
All this guy needs to do is actually just go after these people, and I would vote for him. That's all he needs to do. That's all I want to hear. Because, like, I'm so glad, like, because I don't want to have, like, this emotional talking around it, everything else. Oh, wow, it's so horrible this happened. She shouldn't have been there. She put herself there.
She could be there all she wants. It's, like I said, I don't agree with her doing this. But the thing is like, they're still police officers. If that had been a normal police officer and they had shot and killed her, it'd have been the same. It would have been a whole different outcome. No one talked about this agent that had been dragged 300 feet last month in the same state. The same thing happened to this dude in the same state. He got dragged 300 feet. He had stitches. He was all fucked up. Like, no one was talking about that. No one talked about the lady that was shot and killed at the Capitol whenever the insurrection happened. No one talked about that. You don't see the bias here? Like, it's even if it's bad, it's twisted in such a way that gives it such a bad light. And it's just so nasty. It's so corrupt. Like, everyone saw the video. Everyone saw what was going on. So many angles caught this lady trying to hit an ICE officer. He was standing in front of the vehicle. It doesn't matter. You still knew he was there. He could see you. You see him. You still tried to hit him. Literally. You knew he was there and you still tried to run him over. You have two eyes like everybody else. If you're in a vehicle and you see them there and they see you, guess what? At that point, if you press the gas pedal and you intend to go forward, where do you think you're going? Over him. That's all there is to, like, it's, you can investigate this with 17 different camera angles. The thing is like, oh, well, he shouldn't have been standing there. Where else is he going to stand? Why should he stand anywhere else? Why can't you just follow the fucking law? Why can't you just be a good citizen? Why do you have to sit here and get yourself killed and be charged as a domestic terrorist? Like, well, he shouldn't have been standing there. Well, she shouldn't have been using her car as a ram. She shouldn't have been using her car as a blockade for ICE. She shouldn't have been doing a lot of shit. Like, it goes both ways.
The tragedy of the far left who has marshaled an entire movement, a lunatic fringe against our law enforcement officers.
You literally said yesterday you believe she wasn't trying to ram him. I'll make myself clear because apparently maybe you didn't understand. If you're driving your car at somebody and it's going to hit them, I don't really care whether you're trying to do it or not. They're not going to be able to read your mind and figure out whether you're trying to do it or not.
Thank
They're
you.
just going to see you
The
drive.
dude just made a split-second decision. This lady's driving her car at me. Oh, fuck. Pop, pop, pop. Like, come on.
Your car at them.
They can't read her fucking mind. All they can do is react.
You're trying to do it or not. They're just going to see you driving your car at them and assuming you're trying to hit them. They can't know that. But they can know they're getting a car driven at them immediately.
There you go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to kill you. Oops. Oh, no. I only did this on accident. I was only trying to evade arrest.
think what is clearly happening
Exactly.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
You know what?
There you go.
don't have to
That's
agree
right.
With our immigration policies.
That's a fact.
You don't have to agree with what the president or the vice president believe about immigration enforcement. But why don't you take this to the ballot box? Why don't you vote? Why don't you organize?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Instead, what some of them are doing is encouraging people to get violent with our law enforcement officials. It's disgraceful, and it's got to
It is. It's disgusting.
There's way too many people.
Just to follow up on that question, and again, thank you for taking questions, Mr. Vice President. There's clearly a lot of emotion in Minnesota.
In every single aspect, like seize their financials, put them in jail.
Oh, we got enough of that video. We've been on that video for like literally a fucking hour now. Holy shit.
What's this crazy bitch doing?
This, my guys, is a swamp hag. This has gone from an early Karen to late Karen. This is now a swamp hag. This is the third evolution.
See, this woman should be out in the middle of a swamp selling mushrooms and making potions. But through some aberration of technology, she has been born in the year 2000, or she exists in the year 2026. And this was never
right, funny swamp hag.
Really meant to be.
What the fuck is this thing? I can't even.
This is like a woolly mammoth spawning inside of Africa. You're not meant for this life. She's from Witcher 3? Yeah.
Witcher 3, yeah.
This is
No,
insane.
she's one of those. She was in that one game, Red Dead Redemption 2. Where if I remember right, she got tossed into an alligator. She was there for the women's rights or whatever, right? That girl?
This is the so I've got to say that
let me say this. Does this older lady, this woman, standing out here because of false presumptions of what happened in a federal investigation, help anybody in this country? This is an older woman. She probably has, arthritis out the ass. This cold weather's not good for her joints at all. Is her standing out here in the middle of this street because of a brainwashed schizo society any good for anybody involved in this situation, including her? No, it's not. It's not. What's going to happen if this older lady starts standing in front of ICE cars and they've got to forcefully remove her and she gets hurt? It's going to be another fucking headline. ICE agents break old woman's hip. ICE agents break old woman's femur and she dies because of internal bleeding. Oh, ICE agent does this. ICE agent does that, whenever all they was trying to do is their fucking job. What, are they just supposed to sit there all fucking day while these people crowd up in front of the vehicle? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? What are you supposed to do here? You're not supposed to go to war with the country because innocent people might get hurt? Well, I guess the Taliban just gonna kill themselves, huh? Like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Support this, by the way. But I'm starting to see why a lot of people back in the day thought that certain people were witches. But I'm just saying that, like, damn, the more violent and radical they will become. And I think this is so true. It's so obviously fucking true, by the way. The longer that you let this go on, the worse it's going to get. What penalty do you think should be for these people? I don't know, like maybe 2 years in jail.
Look here. Doing nothing is the problem. They need to crack down on this hardcore. See all these people standing in the road? Jail. Instantly, jail. Put them in fucking jail. You shouldn't be standing in the road. You might get hit by a car. If you're sitting here using your vehicle as a blockade, you might get arrested. And if you try to run somebody over, you might get shot and killed. That seems to be across every state. I wonder how often that actually happens. It probably happens quite a bit. You know why? Because they don't enforce the fucking law. That's why it's there. It's a deterrence. Like,
something
put
like
these
that.
people in jail.
Threatening the life of a federal officer is something that a civilized society should not tolerate.
I agree. They're not there to be your fucking punching bag. They're there to do a job. No one deserves to be your fucking punching bag.
And I think that there should be more of a conversation around what kind of people do you want to live around? What kind of culture, what type of behavior do you want to permit? And whenever I see the way that these people act, it looks like a unhinged, psychotic, aggressive person trying to be as detrimental and dangerous as
And think about how many of these people are getting paid. Like, we don't know yet, but that lady could have been getting paid to use her vehicle as a blockade. Watch, come to find out, all these fucking retard protesters are all being paid. They just haven't figured out where the money's coming from yet.
And they're threatening.
Here's a good example. Here's a really good example for you. Here, check this out. I saw this morning. See if I can find it. Was it yesterday? Right here. Check this out.
He's spitting
This happened after they captured Maduro.
facts. Who makes these signs?
Am I the only one who's wondering how in the world did these protesters get these highly produced signs so fast?
They're well funded.
He captured Maduro at around 2
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
That's right.
Okay. By 7 a.m., a few hours later, thousands of people across America were in the streets with highly produced signs saying no in Venezuela with Maduro's name printed on it, and I mean good quality print too. How did they get them that fast? Somebody most definitely is getting paid.
Somebody is getting paid. He's spitting facts.
See? How do you, on a Saturday? Keep in mind, this is on a Saturday. On a Saturday. You don't think something fishy's going on? I think something fishy's going on.
Walls declaring today a day of unity, calling for peaceful protests and a moment of silence for Renee Good, the woman killed in Wednesday's fatal ICE-involved shooting.
The National Guard now on standby in the Twin Cities as anti-ICE protests are expected for a third straight day.
Alexis McAdams joins us live from downtown Minneapolis with the latest. Alexis.
Good morning. Well, you saw yesterday some of those protests breaking out across the city, and I think it's interesting being here on the ground covering it, hearing what some of these people are saying.
That's kind of fucked. Why should this ICE agent lose his livelihood? Because some dumbass didn't want to stop whenever she was... That's like if a police officer has to shoot and kill somebody, and they have to go on trial and risk going to jail for the rest of their life and away from their family because they were trying to enforce the law. Like, how do we justify this? How? So what, we're just going to start locking up police officers for shooting people?
To these Border Patrol agents and these ICE officers, calling them murderers, calling them killers, and then even spitting at them, which we'll get to in a second. I want to show you what happened this morning, just a short time ago, right near the scene. This was the first time I've seen Minneapolis police out there trying to, I guess, help, because they're trying to push all of this debris and, like, basically encampments that were set up right near where the shooting happened. They blocked off the road since this shooting happened and left behind snacks and other items. I don't know for what. Back out here live, although the feds say the agents shot this woman in self-defense, the protesters that we've been talking to say that these people and these agents are killers and they don't want them in their city. They're taking their neighbors, etc. So it's been very contentious here on the ground. We saw at least a dozen people arrested. Watch this.
Thank you. That's right. Keep arresting them. Keep arresting them. If you got 800, that ain't enough. You need to arrest 8,000. Hey, look at this. How are you supposed to do a job whenever you got these people doing this? How? How are you supposed to do anything?
Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bovino on the ground, walking up and down. He was trying to show his support for teams who are out helping ICE during this massive federal operation. The reason they are also needed, I think it's important to point out, is because local police are just not around. The Sheriff's Department didn't see them. The Minneapolis PD didn't see them. So when there's all that chaos, they need somebody to help step in. At one point, Bovino had a clash with protesters.
Get out of the way.
Bro, what is it with all these goddamn whistles, too?
The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension wanted to conduct its own independent investigation into the shooting. They said, let us take a look at the paperwork. Is there body cam video? They had all these questions, but now they have, quote, reluctantly withdrawn because the FBI said, we don't need your help. They blocked them from being involved. DHS Acting Director Kristi Noem says they don't need Minnesota's help.
I'd like to know where they've been and why they're not out on the streets investigating all of these people that are harassing and inciting violence on law enforcement officers right now. They're allowing the situation to be volatile. They're not doing their work. They have not been cut out. They don't have any jurisdiction in this investigation.
Yeah, it's a federal investigation because it was a federal agent. It makes perfect sense. I mean, why do you think that whenever the Boston bombings happened, they called in the FBI? Maybe don't run your fucking state like it's a foreign country and you won't have war on the streets. Oh, we don't want ICE here. Well, that's just too goddamn bad. That's what they're there for. They got voted in. I'm sorry. That's how it is. They can't just leave because a few hundred people don't want them there.
Secretary Kristi Noem correcting that there. But yeah, just so much going on the ground. We're expecting more protests, not just today, but throughout the weekend. We'll keep an eye on it.
All right, thanks so much. Appreciate it, Alexis. So who is this mom? Who is this woman that lost her life tragically, Renee Good? We're finding out more. Turns out she moves to Minneapolis, and according to reports, she goes into a daycare with a 6-year-old, or a school with a 6-year-old, and evidently it's a charter school known for its social activism, at which time other parents start saying how important it is for kids to get involved in activism. That's another conversation.
Because, you know, it's not bad enough that we've got these people doing it. Let's get the kids involved, right? So that way we can say that ICE agents are shooting kids now, huh? You know, because why not, right?
It turns out that she gets gradually...
When do you start looking at these people and saying, that's a bad actor right there? Whenever you've got this shit trickling down so much, you're sitting here running over ICE agents, and you're getting kids involved in this. You're getting children involved in this. Are we fucking kidding right now? Are you kidding me?
Or was radicalized already, and joins these ICE, anti-ICE teams, and she becomes a warrior for those teams.
Yeah, the New York Post calling her an ICE warrior, saying that Renee Good had participated in part. Yeah, there you go. The cover right there.
I don't think
the
so.
New York Post. Look at that. Warrior on the left, saying that she was part, Ainsley, of this ICE watch group.
And they can't even change it differently. What are they supposed to do? What could they possibly do any different than whenever they were in the military? Like, I don't know. Nah.
You know, it
nah.
is.
I think they're doing a good job.
We have these organized groups in Minneapolis. We saw it out in California months ago, where groups are allowed to organize to basically dox, identify, and put our ICE, federal immigration law enforcement.
Hey, these people getting their shit doxxed. They getting stopped constantly when they're trying to do their job. Like, they getting harassed constantly. Nah, man, they doing everything they're supposed to be doing. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sit here and victim blame the fucking ICE agents. They're doing their job, man. Fuck
There's
that.
a greater risk.
Nah.
That's why you've got assaults up 1,300%. That's why you've got a 3,200% increase in vehicle assaults. Now, you mentioned that school, Brian, a mother that also has...
You got these bitches over here trying to fucking hit ICE agents, getting their kids involved in this. No, dude, no.
Gave a quote to the New York Post saying that Renee was trained against these ICE agents, what to do, what not to do. It's a very thorough training to listen to commands, to know your rights, to whistle when you see an ICE agent.
Well, look at that. And she still made the choice. She still made a choice.
I know she was doing the right thing. I watched the video plenty of times, but I also know in my heart the woman she was doing everything right. However, That's not
right. If you're an activist,
that's not actually true. If you're obstructing an ICE operation,
but in that person's mind, she was
the thing. This just shows you there are two tales going on in America right now. You have some people who think she was doing the right thing, including this mom at the school. The activist community, they think she was doing the right thing. Then you have the other group, the other side of the story, who says you can't resist arrest. You can't.
I'm sorry, but I'll listen to all the federal investigators that figured out who the Boston bombers were by following cameras for 3 city blocks before I listen to a bunch of schizos that are getting children involved with activism. She got charged as a domestic terrorist. Let that sink in. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. Think about what you're saying. When are we going to stop alienating the United States government? Like, how is it that it's only these couple of states that are doing this? How? These sanctuary cities. There shouldn't be no motherfucking sanctuary city. Motherfucker, this is the United States of America. It's in the name. It's no different than illegal immigrant. But they're not here for a wrong... they're here illegally. It's in the name. Illegal immigrant. What are we doing?
Away from police officers when they tell you to get out of the car, when they tell you to stop, you have to. She was trained to do that. According to the New York Post, it says she was trained to resist the feds before the shooting, part of the group of activists who worked to document and resist the federal immigration crackdown. They call her the ICE Watch Warrior.
Do you believe this? She was trained in detail on what ICE can do, what they can't do, how to get in their face, how to block them off. So she's not the poet from Colorado who wants to, who's coming off, who wants to raise a 6-year-old child. She's an activist living in Minneapolis who's with an anti-ICE group. That's a little bit different than we've been told.
They say the training is very, very thorough, but this lady ended up dead as a result of resisting.
About her own actions, which the vice president pointed out yesterday.
Yep.
Vice President Vance, you just suggested that this woman who was killed, Renee Good, is part of a broader left-wing network. Who do you think is behind this broader left-wing network?
Well, it's one of the things we're going to have to figure out, but here's the way that I put it. When somebody throws a brick at an ICE agent, or somebody tries to run over an ICE agent, who paid for the brick? And who told protesters to show up and engage in violent activity against our law enforcement officers? You see, just with this most recent terrible incident in Minneapolis, you see friends of this woman's or other people who are eyewitnesses saying basically that she was there to engage in obstruction of a legitimate law enforcement operation. How did she get there? How did she learn about this? There's an entire network, and frankly, some of the media are participating in it, that is trying to incite violence against our law enforcement officers.
So I'm going to listen to the person that their education is either a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university. It's mandatory. Most successful applicants have 4-year degrees, and many possess master's or juror's doctors, JD degrees. They must have at least 3 years of full-time professional work experience, and an age and background applicant must be between 23 and 36 years old at the time of appointment and meet all physical, medical, and background check standards. So you need a 4 years for a bachelor's degree, 3 years of a postgraduate work experience, approximately 1 year for the application process, background check, and the 20-week training program at the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia. I'm going to listen to that person on what they think about the investigation, as opposed to the Karen judge that's been letting Rico, the illegal immigrant that's molested 13 kids up and down the East Side block, go on this fifth fucking time. I'll listen to them any day.
Preposterous, and part of our investigatory work is getting to the bottom of it. Who's funding it, who's supporting it, who's cheerleading it, and of course, if there's illegal activity related to that, we're going to get to the bottom of that and prosecute it where we can.
So let's get this straight. You could focus on the car and they're going to do an investigation and have at it. But you could also focus on who is inciting this violence since President Trump took over. It is these Democratic mayors, Democratic governors in Chicago, over in Minneapolis, and now over in Portland, Oregon. We see it again today, who are basically asking people to do just this. Get in ICE's way. And what is ICE's mandate? To get illegal immigrant criminals off the streets and illegal immigrants out of the country. That's their goal. So if you can tell me how that is anti-American or why that should be your way of making a living, or how you, as the mother of a 6-year-old, should drop your kid off and then go put your life on the line to get in front of the U.S. federal law enforcement is beyond me. It's a tragedy that she died, but as J.D. Vance said, it's of her own doing that she put herself in that situation, trained to get in the way of law enforcement. And don't tell me you're pro-law enforcement if you're anti-ICE. You can't do both. You're going to pick sheriffs that you like?
Also, Trump is making a new law or a bill that's going to make it to where, because it's funny you say that. He's actually making a new bill that's going to ban big corporations from buying houses as well. So that's another drop in the hat. I mean, we may not see the prices go down yet, but I feel like we're gonna. Because if he's trying to ban big corporations for buying up houses for renters' reasons, how long do you think it's going to be before he puts a cap on how much you can be charged in rent? How long do you think it's gonna take before he puts a cap on how much they can charge in grocery stores? Like how long? Like he already is pushing down the prices of insulin and stuff to a more reasonable cost. Like
state cops that you like? You're going to pick local cops that you like? Oh, I just don't like the FBI, or I just don't like ICE. They're doing their job.
Well, Laura Ingraham last night was in the middle of one of the protests, and the lady admitted this. Laura said, why don't you have a job? She goes, this is my job.
Yeah.
So she is getting paid to be out there. And J.D. Vance is a good point. Who's paying for that brick? Who's paying these individuals?
The same people that are protesting.
Who's paying for these signs that are out 4 hours after Trump goes and nabs the Maduro? Who's paying for this shit? Seriously.
Socialist groups that pick anti-Semitic, pro-Hamas 1 minute, the next minute they're pro-George Floyd. Whatever the issue, anti-American issue is, they pay the activists to disrupt.
It's time to follow the money, as J.D. Vance says, and find out who these groups are. It appears, according to the New York Post, one group, Indivisible Twins.
Well, whenever they dispersed that APOC or whatever, the LA riots completely stopped. People weren't getting paid anymore. Doge found so much fraud that was going to the riots in LA that once they shut that part of the government down, there's no more riots in LA. It's done. They just need to figure out where. Well, they're probably getting all the money that is probably leftover remnants of what was once going to Somalia. Like the ICE agents being there, they're cleaning up all this fraud that's going on. Because the state government won't do it. Of course they don't want this investigation to continue because the paper trail is gonna lead right up to Tim Walz's doorstep. Of course they don't want this to continue. They obviously are gonna weaponize the people and may use them to throw all their shit as much as they can at ICE agents to keep them from deporting all these Somalian immigrants that are here, stealing our money and sending it to Somali. That's the reason why it costs so fucking much to go to a grocery store. When you got like $10 billion being sent to a foreign country, shit, I'd imagine everything would go up too. And that's just one state.
These may be behind training some of these protesters and organizing them. So we need to know more about them, who they are, and where their money's coming from.
Right. FoxNews.com did a story on Monday that really unwinds the 6 major socialist groups in our country, some of which money comes from Shanghai. Want even more Fox News?
Oh my God, what is that?
Become a Fox News Patriot.
Oof. Do we have anything else on this? Okay, good. So Iran is I'm fairly certain Iran's dictators are about to be. I'm fairly certain that the dictator that was running Iran has already fled to Russia.
Protesters and security forces in Iran now turning deadly, with at least 3 people killed and
Or Iran.
17 injured at a protest today, according to a semi-official state news agency.
This is an actual dictatorship right here. He sent his military forces to shoot lethal rounds into a crowd of protesters. You want to see what a real dictatorship looks like? This is what it looks like.
Tensions have been escalating for days, sparked by worsening economic conditions in the country. Cost of living is high, inflation is soaring, and Iran's currency recently crashed to a record low against the dollar.
Jesus.
This video shows a protester sitting in the street, appearing to defy officers, leading some online to draw comparisons to this image from Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, it's the first thing I thought of too.
In Tehran, a number of shopkeepers closed their doors in protest earlier this week. They appear to be the biggest demonstrations in the country since 2022, when mass protests erupted over the death of Mahsa Amini. The 22-year-old died in police custody after she was arrested for not properly wearing a hijab.
Like, these people are oppressed so much that, like, their women are being killed if they're not wearing a hijab correctly. They're getting beaten. They can't afford anything.
Latest unrest comes amid a period.
Of course, they're going to overthrow their government.
Yep, that's
Who
exactly
wouldn't?
it. Why do you think that the U.S. went to war with Iraq, Syria, Libya, and Iraq? Shithole.
Jonathan Hyronoff, he's Israel's international
ultimate weapon. Absolutely. So, yeah, bombings helped a lot. People need help. Yeah, and so every single time that happens, though, it chips away at it chips with Israel. What do you talk? Every single conversation about Iran doesn't have to do with Israel. Like,
Trump has made a statement saying that if Iran keeps shooting its people using the military force, that Trump is going to step in using the United States military. I don't want that. I don't care what's going on over there. That's their own problem. Their people can fight their own war. It's just nice to see people overthrowing their own government as opposed to running to every country around them. I think it's a good thing to see this. It is. I don't want people that... I can't stand this mentality of, well, they're fleeing this awful country. Well, they should stay there because if they get sent back, they're probably going to die. So wouldn't you rather die in a revolution than just to get sent back for them to get caught and then get killed? Like, let's be honest here. Let's think about it. Let's think about it.
There are some people that try to make everything about Israel because Israel and Iran have problems, but Iran can exist as a separate problem that is completely different from Israel. Like, Iran, even if Israel didn't exist, Iran would still be a problem. It has nothing to do with that. So my point is that I think that what's happening now is that they've chipped away so much at the credibility because an Iranian government and any government that's like an oppressive, totalitarian, military dictatorship, basically, or totalitarian.
This is what totalitarianism looks like. When you get arrested by a cop and then they beat you and rape you to death. That's what they do. When your hijab is revealing too much hair and they beat you to death or they kill you, that's what a totalitarian, that's what it looks like, okay? So don't listen to no motherfucking American try to tell you what totalitarianism is. These people have experienced it for well over a decade.
And I don't know, you can use 50 different words, right? But the point is, any
motherfucker, you don't know what totalitarianism you don't know what totalitarianism is, and you don't know what fucking real slavery looks like. Seriously.
It's controlling.
When you have your fucking teeth ripped out to give to some white dude, then you can come and talk to me about racism.
To maintain the illusion of power and the illusion of fear. And the moment that that's gone, then the people revolt and they're dead. That's the reason why they're doing it.
Inflation here. In Iran, it's at 42.2%. $1.
Oh, but locking up everybody, that's a form of totalitarianism. No, it isn't. When you get locked up and whipped to death using a horsewhip, that's totalitarianism, motherfucker. Don't tell me what totalitarianism is. You can protest in America. You can't do that there in fear of being shot at by live rounds from the military. Shut the fuck up.
4 million reals. That's their currency.
You can vote here. You can't even do that there.
People are saying we can't afford anything. There also is a water shortage. And how do they feel about billions of dollars, between $1 and $2 billion being sent to Hezbollah since the war ended, and about $300 million being sent to Hamas while they're living in these conditions?
Yep, exactly. Iran is funding terrorism all around the world. 1 USD is equal to 42,000 Iranian rial. Yeah, it's really fucking bad.
Is Iranian people very vocally linking Tehran's destructive foreign policy to their own economic misery. When they can't afford to provide food and water on the table for their families.
Absolutely.
At the same time, they're seeing the regime pump billions of dollars into terrorist proxies abroad. That's going to irritate people, and that's why they're going into the streets.
This matters because last year, or later last year, Trump bombed their nuclear programs and completely dismantled the years of work that they have done in Iran with the nuclear programs. That was probably the biggest thing that Trump did, because nobody in the world is going to benefit from Iran, a totalitarian dictatorship, from having fucking nukes. We're already having to do hurdles to deal with Vladimir Putin and his bullshit with Ukraine. We don't need another one of these motherfuckers becoming a world power because of nukes.
Should we get involved in unrest inside countries?
Irritate is a massive understatement.
Region. This could have a transformative impact, not just
is that Iran and Israel, before this takeover, had a number of collective goals that they were trying to achieve together. Like, for example, there was a pipeline that they were doing together. And so there is a point where Iran and Israel can get back and they can work together again, because it happened before, and it's just because of the current government why it's not happening. So yeah, before the dog Ayatollah, yeah, exactly, right? So I think it will happen.
Regime, because they actually share its goals. Like, there's absolutely no argument just blatant anti-Semites or who hate the West and hate liberty.
That's what it really is. Like, yeah, to keep happening over and over and reason it's there. Expect that to happen. I would find movement was started at people and Muslim.
Here we go.
This is crazy. Reminder that the body positivity movement was.
You remember all those fat asses that get online and bitch about people like Sydney Sweeney? The body positivity movement started because of this woman right here.
Started by a Muslim woman who was the victim of an acid attack. It was never supposed to be about fat people. So here we go. This is another big component, is that this is another version of cultural appropriation, is that women in oppressive societies that try to control the way they express themselves are now having their culture stolen by fat, greedy hogs in America so they can feel good about eating more food.
Iranians are rising up against their dictatorship, and I have to ask, where are the protests on college campuses?
The reason why there are no protests on campuses here in America is that the Iranians pushing back against their oppressive, theocratic, psychopathic, terrorist government that is an Islamic dictatorship, basically, is moving Iran closer to the Western world.
Yep.
And once you understand, I'll talk about this a lot because they don't care. Well, it's not that they don't care. You have to understand that
I guarantee you,
and all of their goals.
I guarantee you, if Trump went and got the guy that was doing all of this to those people, they would care. They would immediately care.
Is completely about degrading Western society, Western culture, Christianity, and anything to do with capitalism. So anytime that something happens that is in favor of one of those things, they will be against it or they will not support it.
Yep.
Even if it's something that's good, they will still.
I mean, well, look at Maduro. Trump went and got Maduro, and they had people hours later protesting it. Come on,
support it. False? That's a lie. It absolutely isn't. And that's the reason why, like, what else could
we've already had plenty of examples of this.
Reason for why these people, why we're not seeing these mass protests and a mass amount of people that are supporting Iran.
Tucker Carlson. These are real freedom fighters trying to topple an oppressive regime, and yet there are no statements from the UN or Amnesty, the groups that claim to care about human rights and peace. And this is
Yep. Well, you never heard him talk about what Maduro was doing to the people in fucking Venezuela. Remember though, they're gonna bitch about what Americans are doing, right?
Because again, it is all about deconstructing and destroying Western culture, Western values, and Christianity. That is the entire focus they have. And all of these different institutions have been infested with these people that do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we just watched the video with that activist lady that was putting her kid in a school that also was teaching the kid activism. What kind of life's that kid gonna have? Like, what the fuck?
That is their core operating principle.
another example of what we've known.
And the reason why I'm saying this in such a blunt way is because I want you guys to be able to recognize it in the future when it happens again.
These are the same retards that are currently down in Minnesota trying to protest the fact that a domestic terrorist was shot and killed by a federal agent. These are the same people they're talking about.
Remember when I said this? Well, here it is. It's happening again. And it's going to keep happening over and over.
Where's their support for Iran? Where's that? Where's their support for the capture of Maduro and the counter-protesting Venezuelans that are Americans now because they had to flee their own fucking country because of a fucking schizo dictator? Where's your support for them? Why are you protesting them? What possible reason could you have for protesting people that are from the country you've never even set foot in? And you want me to give sympathy to a domestic terrorist that got shot and killed by a federal agent? Fuck no. No.
Especially with Christian growth in Iran. Christianity is the fastest growing religion in Iran. It's extremely small still, obviously.
They're not going to talk about what's happening in Iran right now if they occupy Iran for decades.
Yep, that's
For the first time in 47 years, the people of Iran are not running. The regime is. Here,
look at this.
IRGC hiding in a store. Here
wow.
Is the Iranian regime police station in a city getting burned down. Here.
Yesterday, they disconnected Iran from the internet. The leadership did. I'm not sure how it's going today, but they disconnected everybody in Iran from being able to post video. Like they turned off the internet essentially. So they're either doing a straight up regime change right now because their government got overthrown, or something happened and there's probably mass casualties. We don't know what's going on right now, I don't think.
Statues of Iranian regime leaders getting destroyed.
Because all these videos and all this stuff, even that Fox has, it's all from yesterday.
Oh. IRGC hiding. Oh. Some of them are quitting, fleeing, joining the people in the streets.
That's right.
They're
Roach out.
When facing the mob of Iranians.
That's right.
Over 1 million.
Courageous Iranian people rise up against the mullahs once again. Again, it's just bombs and shit like that. So, yeah, I think we should try to shut it down. Iran totally on fire now. The USA will help.
Yeah, look at them all. Those are all places that are revolting. They're done with it, dude. They're so done with it.
If Russia goes to war against us, I don't think that's going to happen, man. I wouldn't assume that was going to happen. And
Russia's not going to go to war with us. Russia can't even take Ukraine. They're not going to war with us. That's not going to happen, man. They'd sooner nuke us than go to war with us.
Other law enforcement officers. That's really it. She quit her job to protest ICE.
I quit my job for this, and I've been having flare-ups and stuff, so it's like I can barely, and I have panic attack. You said when you heard the sirens, you immediately ran. I quit my job for this, and I've been having flare-ups and stuff, so it's like I can barely, and I have panic attack. You said when you heard the sirens, you immediately
I hear one right now.
Ran out. Where were you?
Actually, you know what? Hold on. I think we have one from Decoy that I wanted to cover. Yeah, we should have enough time for it. Where's Decoy? Here we go. Here we go. Decoy is usually really informed. Here we go.
Look at this live shot that we're seeing right now. We just saw some black
Check out Decoy, Decoy. Hell yeah, Decoy.
Vans moving their way through, and now you see snowball
Is his name Decoy Voice still? No, it's Decoy. It's at Decoy. So yeah.
Look at this live shot that we're seeing right now. We just saw some black vehicle vans moving their way through, and now you see snowballs flying. They're walking backwards, so they're being pushed, is the way it looks, backwards by protesters who are throwing snowballs at them right now.
Local police retreating as protesters pelt them with snowballs just shows us Minnesota is about to burn again. Over another completely avoidable
I think Tim Walz is terrified that it's going to be another BLM
death that the left was basically begging for, which will tragically result in more senseless deaths. As hyper-left Reddit frames their incident as murder, saying I shot a person attempting to drive away, despite the fact that
I shot a person attempting to try to run away. Really? What about Kirk, who got killed in front of his wife and kids? Because these are the same people that are trying to say this shit on Reddit. The exact same people.
She was accelerating her vehicle into the ICE agent, and the round being in the front windshield probing it. It's scary how their framing directly contradicts what several angles are showing, but again, this is the same group saying ICE arrests are kidnappings. So after this shooting, they immediately began protesting.
I know, man.
Oh.
And if their local leaders immediately came out and clarified, it wasn't a random driver being ended for no reason. It was an activist impeding a federal investigation. Then tragically she decided to ram her vehicle into the agent, who then defended themselves.
Even Tim Walz came forward and said that. Like, the investigation's done. They know there's no way they're going to spin it to make it seem like anything else. It was a domestic terrorist.
Maybe they could stop the complete destruction of their own city, but no, Mayor Frey stokes the flames saying, ICE, get the F out.
ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
And this is the problem when you have people that just go off half-cocked. He did this statement prior to them finalizing the investigation.
Somebody is dead. That's on you.
It's on you. Instead of trying to combat ICE agents, you should use the Minneapolis police to work and improve. And instead of impeding their investigation, you should have been using the police in Minneapolis to work with ICE agents so that way they can get in, do what they need to do, and get the fuck out. That's what they should have done. And then you could have said all this vile shit afterwards.
An agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying. To the family, I'm so deeply sorry.
And remember, this is the same city Nick Shirley just exposed.
You know, I strongly believe in put your money where your mouth is. How about you pay them? If you really feel that way, why don't you give them a state settlement? If that's really how you feel, put your money where your mouth is, motherfucker.
For allowing hundreds of millions of fraud from a non-American group. So when their anti-ICE activity has cost the life of someone, he shows they're more than willing to sacrifice another to protect illegals. And the only thing worse is the newly disgraced Governor Walz basically suggesting a civil war.
I have a very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government.
That's not a decision you can make. The United States people made that decision. You have people in your state that are too scared to go out there and say what they think because of these schizos that are walking around pushing out even media podcasters, even people like CNN, Fox News. Why do you think Fox News isn't in there? Why do you think they're using all these uploads that are on Twitter? It's because they're pushed out violently. You can't even have people down there because it's so violent. If you strongly believe in everything you're saying, Tim Walz and whoever the fuck that other dude was, why aren't you down there protesting? Why are you going back to your nice little mansion, wherever the fuck it is, and staying there? Why aren't you down there protesting? If that's really how you feel. Bernie Sanders was down protesting. Where the fuck were you? Where are you at during this? Where were you during BLM? You weren't down there. If that's really how you feel, why aren't you down there?
Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops.
I'd really be surprised if the National Guard would be willing to physically fight the feds after his controversial ducking of deployment.
It doesn't matter. The National Guard's going to follow federal operation orders. That's just how it is. The thing is that the National Guard is still a military operation, and they always answer to somebody higher up. They think that just because they're using the National Guard that they're just going to automatically start doing what the state people want. That's not how it works. That's not how the National Guard works.
While Walls was in the Guard, combined with his lies about being in combat. But I honestly think this is more about rallying his overly emotional, low-information, useful idiots to destroy his state for him. As Minnesota is no stranger to mass riots, burning and looting their own community to the ground, or to accomplish nothing. But again, he'll rewrite history, calling it peaceful.
See these types of things happen, and we saw it after the murder of George Floyd. There's folks that want to cause chaos. There's the disruptors in it, and why the vast majority of those protests were peaceful expressions of their First Amendment right.
Like, you really want, hold on. You want to talk to me about corruption. You have a Somali-style flag that replaced, that replaced the old Minnesota state flag because of how much fraud you're raking in, how much fraud wealth you're raking in from all these illegal immigrants being there, all these Somalians that you're taking advantage of. And you want to listen to these people who are taking a federal investigation and turning it into an absolute shit show. And you want to listen to these people? Check the Somalian flag. The flag looks almost identical. The colors are almost identical to the Somali flag. He added a star in the center. The Somali flag has a star with this color. That's all there is. It's like a 5-side star. He added an extra couple tips to it and added a different color and added the same color. It's basically the same goddamn flag. And you want to sit here and tell me that a domestic terrorist that has already been identified, like, what if the Boston bombers, all this happened because of the Boston bombers? Could you imagine? Like, what the fuck are we doing? This man is obviously pocketing and using the Somali immigrants that have been pushed, that are there in that state, to keep his position as governor. He is making systems that will allow them to vote and vouch for people that probably don't even exist, just to stay in power and continue to rake in money from all the fraudulent places that have now been shut down thanks to Nick Shirley, who went in and did an individual journalist investigation, and they still tried to discredit him even though the places are being closed the fuck down and the immigrants are being charged. No, bro.
And why the vast majority of those protests were peaceful expressions of their First Amendment right.
I think Walls is backed into a corner over all the fraud occurring in his state, so he's really...
Why do you think he's not even trying to go up for re-election? It's probably because he's raked in so much fucking money he doesn't have to do anything now. All he has to do is put up a show for another couple months and he's out.
Lean into destroying everything to hopefully distract from the fact that he's likely implicated in the billions of dollars of foreign fraud. As he not only wants his state to protest, he's trying to get the entire country to burn for his failed state.
See, to Americans who are watching this, if you're in Portland or you're in LA or you're in Chicago or you're wherever they're coming next, stand with us. Stand with us against this.
And this isn't just one disgruntled governor trying to activate the idiots into destroying their own communities. The fact that the entire left-wing community got their talking points of she was just a legal observer just proves the entire party is practically begging for these protests.
Move! Fuck you! Fucking move! Get out of the way! Get out! Press! Get out the way! Get out the way of the truck! Move! Move! Fuck you! Fuck you! Go! Fuck you! Nazis! 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 Nazis!
Look, they broke the back of the car. They broke the fucking truck. And you're not supposed to fucking use lethal force, bro. Look at that. They're throwing shit, probably putting rocks in the snowballs, bust out the window. But that's okay, right? It's okay if someone throws a brick at you. You're just supposed to be a punching bag for Minnesotans, huh? You're just supposed to be the punching bag. These are National Guard members. These are their National Guard members. These aren't even ICE agents. These are National Guard. These are their neighbors, and they're doing this to them. These two up front, they're National Guard. They don't even have weapons.
You would think this specific group of protesters would know don't stand in front of federal vehicles, but I don't think they would be out there if they knew the true, full story. But it's already escalating, as there's even been guys grabbing the feds' weapons just to get pepper bowled in the face.
Yep. Yeah, I remember seeing this clip. This guy tried to reach for one of the National Guard. This is a National Guard trooper. This is a fucking soldier. And you sitting there grabbing at his motherfucking weapon, bro. Look, tried to take his weapon. But he shouldn't have shot him, right? He shouldn't have shot him. He shouldn't have shot him, man. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Sadly, I
Fuck
think
that.
this situation is going to continue to spiral out of control, and that first woman's end won't be the last. But at least this incident is scaring away other ICE agitators.
Fuck that.
It is the most frightening thing I have seen in a long time. This woman was driving away in her car.
She was using her car. I'm so sick of this shit, dude. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. I was hoping that Decoy would show up, but I guess he's not. Protest. About the woman's job who got killed by ICE.
Should also.
You know what? We'll let the rest of this video play.
And they put their weapon in there and hit her in the face multiple times.
ICE activists talking about
This is not
the
right.
woman that was shot and killed in Minneapolis.
This was not
She
self-defense.
was there to
This
use
was
her
an
vehicle to
execution.
blockade.
I am shocked because only a few weeks ago, I was driving around this town that I live in Charlotte, doing very similar things, looking for ICE agents, trying to prevent them from kidnapping people off the street.
And that's something we've covered for quite some time. We don't want anybody to lose their life, but the fact that this is the first time she's realized there might be consequences to impeding the operations of federal agents just proves this escalation was the only thing that could stop this nonsense. And obviously I wanted to get more into this, but I'm briefly out of office, so we'll definitely get into more detail when inevitably the riots begin.
I can't seem to find this shit anywhere, bro. It's like they fucking removed it.
Protests there and protests here as well.
Should also.
Here hours ago, and then it was just hear them
shooting side horrible, but even
Yep.
listen to a lot of the
To us, this
One piece of shit.
And
I want to close.
I do want to bring in to heard that there's someone at the that do is without riots. I think it would be.
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna find it.
we want to continue
Action. And 4 or 5 shots were out and clear on how they felt.
Take you back out.
Fired a single shot back then, sporting last tying them together. We're walking through the pro into one.
Maybe try shorts. Oh, fuck off, bro.
Growing protests tonight.
An attempt.
Filter. No, no, no. If I saw her face again, I'd know it. Crying woman talking about the lady that got shot and what her role was in blocking ICE agents in Minneapolis. That's so weird. It's like they fucking removed it. Wit.
She was scared. She wasn't trying to comply. I mean, she was trying to block traffic, and then they got aggressive.
See?
And she was scared, and she started to drive off. She was trying to comply with what they said to get out of here, and then
They had enough of her bullshit, and
then they were trying to pull her out of the car, and that's when she got scared and tried to drive away. She got shot, and then immediately her foot went on the gas.
That's crazy how they. Did you see the edit?
I don't think.
Did you see the edit there? They clipped it.
I mean, she was trying to block traffic, and then they got aggressive, and she was scared, and she started to drive off. She was trying to comply with what they said to get out of here, and then they were saying, then they were trying to pull her out of the car, and that's when she got scared and tried to drive away. She got shot.
You hear that? She got scared and tried to drive away.
And then immediately her foot.
And then it clipped, right?
Went on the gas. She was I think she was already dead, but her.
There were 2 people in fatigues, ICE agents, presumably.
There was a lady that said, it's kind of weird because there was a woman Is it her?
There was a red SUV came and started pulling on the driver's side door handle, at which point the vehicle backed up a few feet and started driving forward. The agent who was on the driver's side originally, who was not pulling on the handle but had been there prior to that, shot 2 or 3 times through the driver's side window.
It's crazy that he says that, because that's not even the same guy. These motherfuckers can't even get their story straight. The guy that was pulling on the handle was not the guy that shot her. There was another agent in front. These motherfuckers are so twisted, they can't even get their fucking story straight.
The vehicle backed up a few feet and started driving forward. The agent who was on the driver's side originally, who was not pulling on the handle but had been there prior to that, shot.
He got out on the right-hand side from a vehicle. You can see it when they pull up. What is this shit? That's just crazy to me, dude. It's crazy how they're going to try to spin this in so many different ways.
First of all, why if we don't...
He was never on the driver's side. He was on the right-hand side because that's where he stopped. Is there a way to see the ICE footage? Let me see.
We've got several videos we want to just...
Here you go. Here's the full video right here.
Right now.
So how could he have walked around the entire vehicle to the driver's side? He came out of this vehicle right here. That's where he came from. See? He came out of this vehicle. The door's open. That's clearly where he came from. He stopped his car right there to get out and probably walk across. Now hold on. Because you said, why was he standing in front of the vehicle? He was probably trying to walk around to the driver's side to pull her out of the vehicle. Boom, there it is. Boom, there it is. There it fucking is, right there. He was not just standing there, he was walking to the driver's side of the fucking vehicle. Explain that one. Oh, he shouldn't have been standing there. He wasn't, he was walking to the driver's side, and she tried to fucking hit him. Talk out of that one. Boom! There it is! He wasn't just fucking standing there. You could actively see him trying to walk across the front of that vehicle. Look! There he goes, he's walking, and then she drove into him. Yet we're gonna spin this and make 75 different stories, right? Right? Yeah, right. Okay. Whatever the fuck you say. Whatever you say, guys.
That's number one.
And it was obvious she was being detained. Why else would a federal agent park his car right here, get out after blocking her and walking across? Bullshit. Bullshit.
You see the agent who was in front of that vehicle. Here's number two. You see the...
Bro was just trying to get around to the driver's side. What else are you supposed to do when you see a car back up, an agent pulling on it, and then it immediately coming towards you? I guess you're just supposed to let them fucking hit you again, right? Fuck that, man. Fuck that. She got what was coming to her. Nope. 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 No. I'm tired of all these people trying to spin it in a type of way. No. Absolutely fucking not. No. Absolutely fucking not. I'm so sick of this shit. Oh, but they leaned into her window. The same officer that was originally on the driver's side. Bro, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Look at the footage. No. Fuck no.
Michigan. A call to 911 reported an individual was possibly left for dead.
Nope. Check out Midwest Safety W, Midwest Safety Health. Actually, we're gonna probably watch this Ewu one instead. This one's shorter and we're running out of time. Check out Ewu body cam. Firefighter's tampon prank instantly backfires. That's disgusting, by the way.
Tampons.
Okay.
A ton of tampons into their yard.
Uh-huh.
Behavior like this is going to get you thrown in jail. You're going to be on news because you're a firefighter. It's going to cost you your career. Were they used tampons?
Florida deputies confront a female firefighter accused of a disturbing, grotesque act. What follows is a tense back and forth with a woman who seems hell-bent on insisting someone else is to blame.
Tell Dion to go f herself, please. Respectfully.
The following is based on official police records. Just after midnight on October 3, 2025, a deputy with the Volusia Sheriff's Office prepares to confront a suspect after an unusual claim. A woman named Morgan stated that several days earlier, someone was caught on camera filling her yard with approximately 75 red
Jesus
stained tampons. Morgan suspected the tampon tosser to be 28-year-old Gabrielle Dawn Franz, her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, and an Orange County firefighter.
What a joke. That's a nice house, too, boy.
Hello. You're Gabrielle, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I need to talk with you about an incident that happened at your ex's house.
Dude, you look at her face. You can tell. You can tell when she stepped out, she knew she was donezo, dude. She knew she was done the minute she stepped out, bro.
Yeah. Your
By the way, check out Ewu Body Cam on YouTube. Ewu Body Cam. Please go check them out. Give them all the love and views.
House who lives in over off of up there.
Okay. I didn't know he lived there.
Okay. You're a firefighter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't just come here for nothing, so be careful about lying to me, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I didn't just show up here. It's all on video. I have video of it, so that's why I'm here. Your truck, a very distinctive truck. You're seen throwing tampons.
Okay.
A ton of tampons into their yard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's already taken like the stereotypical like defensive posture.
You're throwing tampons into the yard. Another car pulls up behind the truck.
Okay.
Pretty much because your truck's blocking traffic. So then your truck scoots up. Okay. And this is on camera. It's crystal clear camera.
No, you can tell me all about it.
Right. After that, the truck scoots up.
Okay.
You get out of the truck, run back into the yard, throw some more tampons, and then leave. So I'm not asking if you did it. It's on crystal clear camera.
Okay.
So I'd be careful lying to me because I didn't just show up here.
Okay.
Okay.
While the photos and videos make it difficult for her to deny her truck was there, the camera footage and license plate images are too unclear to definitively identify her as the one who threw the tampons.
My main question is...
Oh, but she's got the exact same truck, bro. Like, come on.
What was the point of that? Mm-hmm. And my other question is, obviously you weren't alone, so why are you throwing tampons into their yard?
Okay.
And who else was with you, and do they know the circumstances behind this? Those are my main two questions.
Okay. I can tell you, obviously I wasn't alone. I was not the one throwing them in the yard. Obviously, those were the two people in the back. It was not me throwing them actively. One of those people are my aunt, who is not in this state. The other person is actually my mother. It was actually my aunt's idea. I don't know where the idea came from. I don't know what the rhyme or reason was. That was just something they came up with.
What's the point of driving to your ex's house to throw tampons in you? I mean, how old are you?
Again, I don't know the rhyme or reason behind the idea behind it. I'm not sure. I said it was stupid, figured it was dumb. I don't know. I guess they thought it would just...
Well, then maybe you should have been more, you should have thought more about how this was going to affect you if you got caught. Huh?
Be stupid fun, I guess. I don't really know.
So your mom and your
I
aunt...
just went with it. You can believe me or not, but that is 100% the truth.
Regardless of the truth, it's retarded. It's stupid.
I agree.
Thank you so much, dude. Dude, this word is making a huge comeback. This word is making a massive comeback. I love it.
It's what happened, though. Which is why I said it was dumb, and we shouldn't be doing it, but I just went with it.
You know better as a firefighter, too. Like, that's what's crazy about this whole thing. Like, whenever you get hired at a fire station, your picture usually is taken with everyone else you're hired with. And they do like they put it on like the front page of the website. So when you get arrested, they're gonna know. They're gonna know that you were arrested, especially if you're fighting fire in an area that you live in. Because the police and the fire department, they're like intertwined. So what in the back of your mind said, well, I'm just going to tell the police if I get caught that it wasn't me, but it's clear as day it was your truck there.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess peer pressure. I don't know.
Whether her idea, her mom's, or her aunt's.
You are a firefighter. You are paramilitary. Don't talk to me about peer pressure.
Deputy has a deeply disturbing question regarding the choice of projectile.
Were they used tampons?
No.
They looked like they might have been used. Just they just put red paint on them or something? Or?
They put red paint on them. I did not.
Okay. So they weren't used, because that's absolutely freaking disgusting.
No.
So when you left this house, you put your aunt and your mom in the back of the truck. You drove up there, obviously knowing where you're going and what you're going to do. Get there, the tampons are thrown, and what? You just come back home?
Yeah, we just came back home. What I can tell you though is I'm not the mastermind behind this. So with the verbiage of I is not correct. I mean, obviously there was someone else who made up the plan. Yes, I went with it, 100%. I did drive my truck. Yes, I did.
So the story I just regurgitated you is correct?
The story is correct, but I am not the only one a part of it.
How do you think that's relevant? So if I tell you me and a friend of mine is going to go rob a bank, and you come along robbing the bank, is it relevant that you're not alone?
Yeah.
Really? Whether you're the mastermind or not is completely irrelevant. You partook in this nonsense. This is nonsense.
It is nonsense.
Okay. And you are a firefighter.
Yes, sir.
Behavior like this is going to get you thrown in jail.
And you're going to lose your job.
Because you're a firefighter. It's going to cost you your career.
Yeah.
I've been doing this 14 years. I've never even seen no stupid like that.
While Gabrielle attempts to call her mom, the deputy steps away to call his sergeant.
All right. So I came over here, talked with her. She fully admitted to everything. She says it was her mom and aunt's idea. She just went along with it.
How old are they?
Who? How old's your mom and aunt? Approximately.
My mom.
How old are you? Like 30?
My mom is.
How old are you?
28.
Yeah, she's 28. Her mom's 50. 50 what? 40, 50 something. You're old people doing this nonsense.
Okay, so you know get arrested for a prank?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was a with her ex.
What do you want to do? How far?
I already told you what I want to do. I think it's stalking.
Yes, sir. Put her ass in jail. Hold them accountable. You want to sit here and do weird shit?
It's not a prank with friends. It's with her ex. This isn't a prank. This is I'm with my ex throwing tampons in his yard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a prank is me doing it to you. That's a prank. If I do it to my ex-girlfriend, it's not a prank. I'm with my ex-girlfriend.
Thank you, dude. Bro, dude's based.
The sergeant
Seriously.
lets him know he'll call him back with a decision about whether or not to arrest her, and he returns to Gabrielle, who has finally reached her mother by phone.
No, Mom, the police are here. What are you saying? No, I'm not. Why would I lie about that? I don't know what's going to happen. I just need to make you aware. My mom's just asking what.
My mind's made up. I think you should go to jail.
Okay.
The sergeants are discussing what should happen to you, and I'm going to follow the direction. But if it was up to me, you'd already be in the back of that car going to jail.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not going to do anything, but I'm the one right here, so just so you know.
I find it amazing you still think you didn't do anything.
Someone's having a bad day, so.
I'm not having a bad day.
She asked if she could speak to you. Is that okay or no?
Actually, probably not, because the fact that you're still saying here you didn't do anything and I'm having a bad day is ridiculous. You need to grow up.
Bro, oh my god, this dude is based. Holy shit, this dude is awesome.
I want to speak with you, so I guess I want to.
Bro, that's so disrespectful too. Like, oh my god. Jeez, you are a firefighter. Come on, dude.
I'll
What are
let you know
doing, bro?
if I can what happens.
Gabrielle leaves the phone on speaker, letting her mom listen in on the rest of their conversation.
I completely understand you're just doing your job.
Yeah, trust me, I'm having a great day. I'm not having a bad day.
Quarrels with that.
This wouldn't be extremely complicated about you going to jail or not, but one of the biggest things about it is you're doing it to
That is crazy. She completely told the truth. That's the crazy part about it. But she's still a part of it.
ex-boyfriend. So that makes it a domestic violence thing because it's your ex-boyfriend.
I should have pressed charges for he sexually assaulted me.
I agree.
Finally, the sergeant calls back with a decision, but it isn't good news for Gabrielle.
Bro, I love that about a lot of women. They do that shit nowadays. It's like, oh, well, I did this fucking terrible thing, but he SA'd me. Bro, like, you didn't get SA'd. If you had gotten SA'd and you didn't report it, that's on you. Like, no, man, I can't stand that. It's like, once the shit hits the fan, well, he did this to me, it doesn't matter. You didn't report it. You have to report it. Saying it now solves nothing.
Unfortunately, they agree with me, so...
I don't doubt she told the truth, but at the end of the day, if you don't fucking report it, it doesn't... No.
Your mom there?
She didn't do it. I did it.
Okay, she was along. All three of you theoretically did it. Again, it's fortunate you're not here, or you'd be facing the same charge. Yeah, you got what you got.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like they're all technically gonna go to jail. That's the big problem.
It's a crime.
Like, yeah, her face is gonna be in the paper because of this for sure.
Well, I mean, that wasn't the intent. It was supposed to be a joke. I don't think we understood that a joke. That was honestly the intent.
Well, it's not a joke. I mean, you're throwing tampons on her ex-boyfriend's yard.
They're not real, right? I mean, do we know that?
How does that matter?
I just want to make sure everybody's aware that it's actually not a violation.
It's a form of harassment. It's a form of stalking. That's the problem with it.
I'm fully aware. That would have been a whole nother charge, but she told me they were painted. But the fact that you guys purchased tampons, painted tampons, loaded them up in the truck, drove all the way over there, threw them in the yard.
Think about how much money that shit is, too. That's a lot of fucking money. 75 tampons?
It's called stalking. You can't do that.
Understood.
The deputy explains that because the offense is related to domestic violence, she won't be given a bond and must spend the night in jail.
Damn, there it is.
If I can get clothes eventually tomorrow before
Do you want
a judge.
to put on pants?
I mean, yeah, that'd be great. Am I going to go in front of a judge in what I'm wearing now?
No. When you get to jail, you're going to be dressed out in orange.
Oh, fantastic. I love that. Tell Dion to go f herself, please. Respectfully.
It's unclear if Dion is the name of her aunt or someone else Gabrielle may hold responsible. While she goes with the other officer to put on pants, the deputy reaches out to Morgan to share the outcome of the investigation.
That's a nice house, too. Damn, that means she was making a lot of money from that job she was working, dude. That's a nice house.
This is Deputy James. I am at her house. I got her to speak on what happened, and she is under arrest. Yep. You're very welcome. I'm sorry that happened to you.
In the car on the way to the Volusia County Branch Jail, Gabrielle makes a sudden comment regarding her ex's new girlfriend, Morgan.
No wonder his girlfriend was stalking me.
What do you mean?
She's been stalking me for the past couple days.
Meaning what?
She's been following with everything I'm doing online.
Oh.
Which she has everything blocked. And I have her blocked on myself. But she's been trying to like watch me through my friend's stuff, and she's like on it like a job. So I was like, that's really weird. Why would she do that like off the bat?
According to Morgan and Joseph, Gabrielle has made many social media posts implying she isn't happy about them dating, all of which led them to suspect she was the one behind the tampon tossing incident in the first place.
But watching you on social
Oh, yeah, so there was a lead up to this. She had what was coming. She got what was coming to her.
media is not stalking. I mean, it's not a crime of stalking. It's just being
weird,
nosy, I guess, or they both are. Well, it doesn't matter if he does or not because it's domestic. It's domestic. If it's domestic by nature, it doesn't matter if somebody wants to press charges. The state picks up the charges.
According to court records, prosecutors with Florida's state attorney's office ultimately declined to prosecute 2 domestic violence stalking charges against 28-year-old Gabrielle Dawn Franz and ordered the evidence held pending further court instruction. If you'd like to see select new videos
That's so stupid.
And help us keep on
She didn't get charged because she's a fucking fireman.
uncovering case files that rarely come to light.
That's garbo, dude. That actually upsets me.
You'll find extra footage and unseen details on our Patreon. Channel memberships here on
That's
YouTube
crazy, bro. That's crazy. I can't with that. Man, that's it. We rolling for the weekend, bro. We rolling, bro. That's it. Time is it even? It can't even be that late. Oh no, it's 11:30. All right, stay safe out there. See you on Monday. Hopefully all this stuff dies down by Monday. Have a good weekend. Stay safe out there. Try to put a smile on someone's face. You might change their whole day or their whole life. You never know. And I'll see you boys on Monday. Thanks for watching.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm